Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes. Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay, I have one
Let's
juicy on the name.
Let's try though. Let's still try.
How's it going, everyone? Happy Saturday. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and you are watching the Boba Squadron Recap, the Disney Plus Star Wars TV show Andor. And we are talking about episode 11 tonight, the second last episode of season 1. So thank you for joining us. Here on the channel, I usually talk about toys and action figures, but a lot of the times those such collectibles come from cool TV shows and movies. So I thought it'd be fun to sit down with friends and talk about that kind of content as well. And I hope you enjoy our conversation about it. If you do, please feel free to subscribe to the channel here, hit the thumbs up, and share with your friends. Let them know that we're live right now. If you like what's going on here, this is also available on Twitch. If you prefer Twitch, it's available there as well at the same name, Toying Around. Some other cool stuff going on the channel here. Unboxing Thursdays every Thursday night. And also there's a show called Hunting Around where I go toy hunting with some friends. So feel free to subscribe to the content. Shout outs to everyone who does that already. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. Real quick, let's see who's here tonight. We have Darth Gutierrez, a channel member. He says hashtag Nacion de Mantequilla. Thank you, sir. Tommy K is here. What's up, Tommy? Val A, Plasti Adicto. What's going on, Plasti? Plasti will be the guest on Unboxing Thursdays next week, where my voice will return to the normal, high-pitched, kind of shrill level, not this smooth version right now. D-Cirtle is here, John Carmen, Bearded Builds. What's going on, channel members? Butter Nation, good to see you. Bad Wolf Media, Anna is here. Just says, yo. I guess she's saving all the quips and trolling remarks for Paul for later. Stream Elements in the house, and Winger Lose. Diggs BTW7 over on Twitch. Thanks for tuning in. First time in the chat, it says. So thank you for being here. Let's get to our lineup for tonight. So unfortunately, Yoko will not be here tonight. She is over in California for Designer Con, which is happening this weekend. And Ernie, I don't know what his excuse is, but they're hanging out. So with me tonight is you know him from Star Wars. He's the star of Kim's Convenience and also the newest episode of Hunting Around, which just aired this week right here on this channel. This is a man on the run from the law, Mr. Paul Sun-hyung Lee.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Paul?
How times have changed. I'm in my stripped down basement. I know it looks like I'm hiding. I'm in witness relocation right now.
You look like you're in the back office of a strip club because of the light.
How do you know what the back office of a strip club looks like? I don't know.
Don't try to redirect it on me. This is about your shady surroundings right now.
Yeah. Well, as a lot of you might know, especially those of you who are part of the Bitter Brigade, I am in the process of moving. And it cannot happen soon enough. It is day after tomorrow. We move on the Monday. Everything's been shrink wrapped, saran wrapped. The detolf cases have been prepped for the big move. The toys have been packed away, and I am down here in this really sad ass basement now that is bereft of any character. So here I am, right
Good
here.
word. What's that poster behind you?
That is the Event Horizon collector's poster. It was like looking really janky before, and I thought I gotta put something back there to break it up. And so I just moved it from, we left it up, I just moved it from there to back there. So at least there's something less depressing back there. Although Event Horizon, really, that's the movie that started it all for Paul Anderson, W.S. Anderson, which, you know, this is one good movie, and then there's a whole spate of really crappy movies after that.
Oh my gosh. Hot take. Well, you know, it's just the two of us tonight, and I don't think we've ever done a one-on-one like this, have we?
Oh no! Well, not outside of doing your toying around channel as a guest, but no, we've never done a breakdown. It's gonna be weird. No Ernie to make fun of, although we'll still make fun of Ernie.
We need that like at least third person for
We need that wild
difference
card
of opinion. Yeah,
there you go. Somebody to mix it up and stuff like that.
Exactly. And we were prepared tonight. Usually I'm not, but tonight we're very prepared. We have joining us tonight a special guest host. You've seen him here on the channel before. If not, you should go check out the Yes Have Some podcast. He's been helping you, or he helped you, Paul, in some of your videos when you were out west as well. And recently got to meet this person in person during your Bad Bash, Paul. So that was awesome. Please give a warm, buttery welcome to No Not Larry. Can you imagine a cat Yoko left the computer on just for the cat to go on?
Yeah. And it's just Larry's asshole, right? He just turns around, does what the cats do. It's like, woohoo!
It's like Larry's on that podcast? No. Please welcome our friend Ryan Doell. Oh, press the button. What's up, Ryan?
Yo, how's it going? I'm
Good,
here
man.
to help you with some diversity clicks, apparently.
There we go.
I want to make sure you get those tonight, so that's what we're gonna do.
If anything,
Oh my
Ryan
God.
is great at stirring the pot and
Oh,
making sure
right
we
off
get
the
enough
bat.
likes for this video.
Yes, if you're already loving this and you love this content, already give it a like. How many people are watching? I don't know, but there should be twice as many likes as there are watchers. There we go. That's what I gotta say about that. So start hitting that like, folks.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Well, thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you on and hear you talk about Star Wars with us. But real quick, let everyone know, about what you got going on your podcast. You have also the Batman one, and just everything where they should follow you.
Okay, well, you can find me on the Toy Anxiety YouTube channel every Tuesday. But when we do Toy Anxiety, 6:30 Pacific, so that's 9:30 Eastern. As well as Gotham City Tonight, we do on Wednesday nights at 7:30 Pacific, 10 o'clock, 10:30 Eastern. Toy Anxiety is exactly what you think it is. We talk about toys, and we get right down into it's a lot of discussion-based stuff. There's like 0 box openings, anything like that. We just talk about toys, whether it's retro, modern vintage, modern toys, any kind of things that just strike us in the news. So we all kind of talk about that. And then on Wednesdays, I have Gotham City Tonight, which is on another separate channel called Gotham City Tonight. And my friend Lexi and I, and we just talk about comics, and we talk about Batman. We talk about the DC movies, the good and the bad, and what we find bad and what we find good might even surprise you on that. And then I just started doing another separate show on the Toy Anxiety channel as well called Flippin' Star Wars. And I go through old Star Wars magazines from the 90s, and we just go through them and we talk about all the articles and the things that were getting debuted and coming out at that time. So I've only done the first 2 issues of Star Wars Galaxy magazine from 94. And it's funny because there's no Power of the Force 2 yet. So they're just starting to get us prepped for what's coming. And then in the latest issue, that if you want to go check it out yourself, we get to a point where they talk about but not eBay auctions, but email auctions, and what to expect for if you're going to do email auctions on the internet in 94 for Star Wars merchandise. What are the flags to look out for, green flags, just stuff like that. And I, because again, I love Star Wars, part of the reason why I was invited. And I also love all the stuff, love all the same stuff you guys love, man. I'm all for it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Let's see what's going on. Some people showed up in the chat later on. What's going on? Matt Logic 44. Bad Wolf says Paul's on the run from the law because Toys R Us put a bounty out on him for all the shoplifting. Oh my goodness.
That was awesome. That's a great episode, folks. If you have not watched that yet, it is.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's so funny.
What if you don't know what Ryan and I are talking about this episode? I mentioned earlier I do this show called Hunting Around where I go live in person toy hunting in a Toys R Us with a local collector or friend. And the newest episode that just came out features a man on the run, last seen at Toys R Us, here, possibly drunk with this face, winking at me like, "Hey, baby." No, this is me and Paul at Toys R Us, and it was a lot of fun to just. I mean, what's better than toy hunting with friends? You get to share in what you see, and you can talk about it right away. Like, "Oh, I just saw this, this, and that." But I think when the two of us get together, it just gets extra silly. So hopefully you have a chance to check out this episode right here on this very channel. And I think we go on a 4-minute rant about. Well, you go on a 4-minute rant about Boba Fett, Paul.
Well, to be fair, you egged me on.
Absolutely, that's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So yeah, go check it out. There's 5 other episodes that go along with it. It's all in a playlist. Feel free to watch that later. Bookmark it for whenever you are very bored. I think you will. I guarantee you will crack a smile at some point in the 43 minutes. So you have to watch the whole thing.
You do.
That 43 minutes flies by. And for those of you who are members, actual subscribed members of Toying Around, there is a special deleted scenes edition of this where Kevin chose to excise some of the funnier bits out that were maybe not PG-13 or safe enough for regular YouTube content. But there's a lot of extra fun stuff in there. So if you consider becoming a paying member of Butter Nation, there's some extra treats in there for you. So definitely it's worth a try.
Oh man, having you two here is perfect. You guys plug everything that I forget. Thank you, Paul. But yes, channel members, depending on the tier, sometimes you get different types of content. Sometimes you get early content. Sometimes you get exclusive videos. Like
sometimes you get cocaine. There's
all
sorts there. Butter Nation, look it up.
No.
Evan, he'll send you money.
How do I mute this guy?
On number of pages.
Send you a brick
Free
of Coke.
Toys.
Oh my gosh, anything you want.
Pictures of Ernie's toes.
Hentai.
It's all there.
You've got hentai, all sorts of just.
I might be able to pull off the pictures of Ernie's toes. I have something of his that he wants, so
well, there
it will work.
There you go.
Who else showed up later? Aaron S is here. My voice is steadily glowing.
So sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were wondering what brand shirt you were wearing, which was in the episode.
Yeah, no, it's
I've been telling everyone it's like Mr. Fantastic and the unstable molecules. Just stretches.
No, man.
And it comes
back. That was awesome though. Did you see? And it didn't stretch out of shape either. It kept its shape. Right?
No.
So yeah, it's a Gildan. It's one of those good old-fashioned shitty Gildan t-shirts, run of the mill, as common as they get. Like that was the go-to brand of shirt, like brand. Yeah. For if you were making merch like back in the day, that was kind of like the only sort of really, really affordable mass-produced shirt that you could use to print stuff on. So there you go. Prison Break.
Hey, Mel's here.
Oh, so she's on like episode 10? If you just finished the Prison Break?
10. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? One way out.
You're one behind, Mel. If you want to.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, there's going to be
spoiler alert
like
for tonight.
A lot of them.
Spoiler warnings. Yes, this is episode 11. So
we will get to that. But part of our pre breakdown warm up is we have a little talk about some of our Star Wars toys, recent Star Wars news, anything you might have picked up as a guest. Ryan, anything Star Warsy this week?
Actually, I just found out via my phone that it's on the way. They had a bunch of vintage collection figures on sale at or discounted on Amazon. So I got them the hallway play set for like $30.
Oh, nice!
I got 2 of those.
You got 2 of those? I might end up getting a second.
I actually got 4. I fit 2 under my shirt, and I bought 2.
Yes. So Paul gets enabler points for that. Once I saw him grab that, yeah, that's right. I'm giving away points. And,
That's a very good price.
So I grabbed that, and then they had a bunch of just.
Wait, we're all Canadian too.
We're all
This
Canadian.
is the
So
first
yeah,
time.
Oh,
Yes.
damn, there you go.
finally.
Hat trick.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you because I was like,
Yeah.
wait, do I have to convert the price for everyone? And I'm like, no,
You do
wait.
not
We're
here.
Canadian. You guys
And-
converted.
Yeah,
Or
you
what?
guys do the math. And what else? Yeah, they had a bunch of figures on for like $15-20. So I grabbed a few figs as well. So I grabbed like a Hoth Trooper, Luke on Hoth, Mace Windu, Attack of the Clones, Anakin, because Attack of the Clones is like the best film ever, and the Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. Got them all for like whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll just grab these while they're cheap. Just grab them.
Nice.
So that's been
Did you
my
get-
week in Star Wars, and I'm still on the fence of what I want to get as my 50% off on my buy one, get one 50% off on Sideshow for their
Oh my God.
Black Friday sale for Hot Toys, because I'm like, well,
Mhm.
this is a good reason to get Darth Maul, which I've been eyeing up.
Which
But now
version
it's
of Darth
like-
Maul?
Oh, Clone Wars.
Ooh,
Clone
little
Wars
leg.
thing? With
Yeah,
the legs.
with the
The
legs.
legs.
The legs.
Yeah.
So now I'm talking like
I
Steve.
got that one.
And then
Nice. Can't
and
do
so-
it, mate.
Don't
Can't
do
it.
fucking
You can't
donut.
do it.
And we need, and so I'm up in the air. Like, do I want to get the Scout Trooper? Do I want to get one of the Mandos for the 50% off? So it's all I'm having that problem, which is a very good problem, but I'm
Mhm.
having that problem.
That's awesome. I think
Just get them
I
all.
almost pulled the trigger on the Sideshow R2. But then I was like, I don't know if there's anything else I want.
Ah.
Right.
Paul, you've been packing, so you're not supposed to be buying new toys. What toys did you get this week?
So I did a pre-order for the ARF Trooper. That's the Clone Wars, the Clone Trooper that's on that little mini walker. Looks
Mhm.
it looks like a miniaturized version of a Scout Walker, basically, right? So that came up for pre-order. It's going to be released in time in 2024. So I figure, there you go.
Yeah.
That is that's a Paul 2024 problem. So I was more than happy to place a pre-order for that. Also, I think I said this. I got in from Sideshow. DHL, once again, thank you so much for sending me a box with a huge kick in the side of it. I sent that picture to you, Kevin, right? Because I know you love DHL as much as I do.
Oh,
But and I think I sent it to you too, Ryan. But so in that box was Han Solo frozen in carbonite. That's a Sideshow Collectibles version of it. And right on RMD Collective. There you go. See, if you can't watch, tune in, hit the like button, jump out, watch the replay.
stay for
That's
at least
how you
30
do it.
seconds, though. YouTube likes that. 30 seconds.
Oh, really?
at
30
least.
seconds? All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yes.
So I got that, and I also got the that was sent a Moff Gideon. Broke down, got Moff Gideon, just to complete that Mandalorian sort of collection. And my EXO. This is I got a 1/6 scale Star Trek figure, the Mirror Universe Sulu. Finally came in. So those are my 3 big purchases. Well, not anyway.
Very
So,
cool.
Those are the ones I'm going to own up to.
They're the ones. The other ones just appear on the doorstep magically. If,
My wife is watching this stream. What else can I say?
It's like
Nothing.
there's 2 sets of books for the accounting. You know, there's
Right.
the one that you get, with Al Capone, and then there's the real ledger. Those are the ones that she saw you at the door with. Like,
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
awesome.
How many is
awesome
there?
stuff.
Don't look! Going to the basement.
They're not
Paul,
for you.
Have you been getting any more of the micro Galaxy Squadron?
Yes. Those are the things. My good friend Tommy K. Everybody, let's tell him to shut up. He went to Detroit a couple of weeks ago to catch a Packers game. Watch the Packers lose to the Detroit Lions, and that's right. Shut up, Daniel.
Shut up, boy.
And so he got me a couple of the Boba Fett fire spray, and then the earlier versions, the Jango Fett fire spray, also got me the LAAT, the dropship, and the Razor Crest.
Nice.
All the way from Detroit. Yeah, there you go. Just like that. Except mine's still in the box. Oh, and the troop carrier from Mandalorian Season 1.
Yep.
Got a little miniaturized version of that. So
Yeah, that thing's cool.
But yeah, I'm on the lookout now. I got Daniel looking out for me, and Steve 3 in the States looking for the Outland TIE fighter that Moff Gideon flies in for season 1.
Yeah, I've got him looking for the trench run.
Right. Yeah, that's the chase, the assault pack, the chase.
Yeah.
The
Falcon, the escape.
Yeah.
The daring escape Falcon with the 2 TIE fighters.
Right. But that one's doesn't have Obi-Wan Kenobi in it. It's got Luke Skywalker.
I know, and I need old Ben. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna?
You gotta get both.
Doing a Falcon for the
Galaxy's Edge, right?
And then and when they get one with like Rey, I'm gonna need Rey. What is this?
Well, I mean, it's a geek tax, man. You're getting the same ship, slightly different, and just it's the figures, the little figures that are different. So there
gets
you
you
go.
every time.
I just saw the one with Yoda's ship, and Yoda is shorter than the astromech. So if this is the astromech that comes with Kenobi and it's this small, I think in the photo Yoda was shorter
He's
than
a grain of rice.
Like, I'm gonna lose it in a second. I'm gonna lose it.
I just remembered
Almost immediately.
somebody tipped me off. Indigo they're selling the Jazzwares, the Michael Galaxy stuff. Indigo.
Really?
And
Yeah.
So you look it up on there. So the Bad Batch.
This is 54, I think.
Yeah,
54.
all the big ships are $54. But I got the Bad Batch, their attack shuttle. I ordered, and it is on its way.
This is a tech.
I also got the blanket from Indigo, and I got the blanket first. It's so weird.
It's supposed to be hidden, but the blanket's supposed to hide the toys.
So
that way your wife
cover.
That was the plan.
It was supposed to come in one box, and I was going to say this is. Anyways, it didn't work. I saw right through it.
I see the plan. It's supposed to be you open the box, and then as Anna comes around the corner and she's like, "Did you buy more toys?" You throw the towel at her, blocking her vision entirely.
It's a very nice blanket. It's a nice fleece blanket, and so that backfired.
Decoy.
She's like,
decoy. I didn't get anything this last week.
That's a lie. You caught the flu.
Oh,
you got the flu.
That's not Star Wars.
You got to watch Star Wars.
Flus in Star Wars.
No.
Yeah, I mean, my whole family has been sick all week, so no hunting. I didn't even go online shopping. So light week, but rich in friendship. Oh, I don't know. That's lame. Okay, let's start. Terrible. Yeah, good warm up. Again, this is the point 25 minutes in where we tell people, spoiler alert, we will be talking about everything that happens in Andor up to and including episode 11. And also at the end of it, let's kind of wildly speculate what's going to happen or what we hope to see in the season 1 finale. So if you haven't watched yet, come back later, go watch Hunting Around. It's 43 minutes. You come back, we'll be about a third of the way through the episode, and then if you or watch it 2 times, and maybe we'll be done recapping the whole episode. Otherwise, thank you for hanging out. Well, Ryan, what's your take on the show so far? We haven't talked to you about the show.
Yeah, no, I'm loving it. I'm loving the direction it's going. I love the tone of the show. I think this was the best show to do this kind of tone in, because this particular, like Andor, Rogue One, it's not necessarily, it was the show or the characters are not here to necessarily sell toys. So they don't have to worry about necessarily making it for kids. Because there's none of those, like, there's not a Boba Fett, there's not an Obi-Wan here, or Mando or Grogu. This this is something for us, older fans, and I'm actually very grateful for it. And it's funny. It's still like seems targeted towards an older audience. However, I still want all the toys they make for it. Especially Mon Mothma. Give me all the Mon Mothmas you can throw at me. She's been a real
Especially the
standout
dinnerware set, the accessories that come with
Oh,
Mon
see,
Mothma.
you already know. I was like, yes, yes, and and give me the antique shop playset, please. Right? All
Oh, that'd
that
be
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah, I love all of the characters that have been involved in this show. It didn't take me long to get attached to everybody, including that red droid that looks.
Oh my god! Yeah,
he's
B2MO is one of my
It's like a
favorite
golden
characters.
retriever who can talk,
Jeez.
right?
Mhm.
Like he's a wonderful, wonderful droid.
But-
And yeah, there's just something about this show that's just like it's intense. It's made me cry. It's made me like not even necessarily even really laugh, like because it's a heavier show. And I think I've kind of really enjoyed that of this, oh God, like we know what's gonna happen to Andor. Yet somehow I'm still going, oh my God, what the hell's happening to Andor?
I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay. Yes, and it's still doing that, which is what these shows that are like technically prequels need to be able to do, is to make you love Rogue One. I know Rogue One, but yet I still catch myself going, oh my God, what about Andor? Because you've already gotten attached to him, and just how I love the slowness of the episodes. I love all of it. Like so far, this show has just been what I wish we could have got with Boba Fett, but however, I understand why they didn't or feel like they can't. So this to me is a great replacement for that, because I also really love Rogue One. So this is just building upon that era. It's scary. It feels real, but still Star Wars, but also like completely different than Star Wars. I don't know how else to explain it, but I'm loving it and I'm here for the ride.
Cool, man. I think we picked the right person to join us tonight then. Wait, what if we all have the same opinion? Then remember Yoko has some theories that we have to address as they arrive. We'll see.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
and
most of
I
them.
probably won't make it to the next episode. I think Yoko is gonna kill me, so it's okay.
Yeah, you very boldly claimed on social media that you're replacing them tonight.
Well, I kind of just for tonight, but it was her reply that scared the hell out of me. It was I will remember this. And it was like she said, what is it? It was like, the X's seem aggressive. I will remember this for later. And that's what gave me like oh shit. Like, I'm
talking to a dead man.
Yeah, you are talking. Like, I feel like I'm going to wake up one day and she's just going to be standing over me with an axe, like waiting for me to wake up to make sure I'm the last thing she sees before that thing cleaves my head into two. That's where the X is going to go, right on my face. So, but it was no ill will. It was just me being me.
Very, very aggressive.
Very,
All right, we're going to have to find that photo later.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I have some screenshots. Episode 11, following the daring escape from episode 10, and everyone's still, all the viewers I think, still recovering emotionally from everything that happened. Andor and Melshi are still on the lam, like Paul. You actually see Paul in the background of this episode. These cabinets behind him and the poster and everything. But they're avoiding detection from the Imperial ships, and they're hanging off the side of a cliff to not be seen from like ships flying over the side. It's crazy. They zoom in, their hands are all dried and cracked and bleeding, their toes. They don't have any shoes or gloves because they didn't have any of that stuff in the prison. Aiden's case says Yoko is the enforcer. She is. Yeah, so here you see right here, they're just hanging off the side as this ship on the left is flying away. And then it's a really emotional scene because the two characters are just trying to give each other hope, like hanging off the side of a rock cliff. It's hard enough, and they're just like, please just tell me they're leaving. It's like, we're gonna make it. They're just encouraging each other, giving each other hope, which is kind of like the whole theme of Rogue One. And prison escapes are built on hope. So and then it cuts to this like close up. At first, did you guys have any idea what was going on? Like, you could hear people talking about she's gone and this and that, and but I had no idea what I was looking at. And it's just
I knew right away
that
it
was
that was Vimo.
Yeah. Then it like
Yeah.
cuts to the cup falling off of him.
Yeah, because the rattling thing, but it was just like, because it's his POV, and like right away I knew. And I was actually quite upset that like 2 minutes into this episode, I'm already in tears, right? And it's a droid that makes it, because it's like you said, Ryan.
B2 emo.
Yeah, B2 emo. He's like a golden retriever. He's Doug from Up, right? That's basically what he is. He's just this, and the level of emotion that this droid is allowed to sort of convey, and to get into it later on, how much he is loved and respected by everyone too. Like, you don't see that in the Star Wars universe. Usually it's like, shut up, Goldenrod, and like they're switching off the droids and telling them to switch off and all this stuff. And here you have this droid who is utterly, Siri's got activated somehow. This droid who is utterly devoted to his human, and how devastating it is for him to lose her. And you can just see how it affects him. He sulks. He's visibly upset. He's shaking. He's so upset that she's gone. He doesn't want to believe she's gone. And it's just like, they endow B2 with so much emotion. Like, I was in tears. And I absolutely love that. Like, that's great characterization. That's great writing. When they can make you invest in in an animate, mechanical character. That's great writing. And it's just, and really what it is how the other actors, like Brasso, how he deals with them. And he says, like, he says, we're taking her away now. Like, do you want to say goodbyes to her? Like, we can all leave if you want to be alone. Like, holy shit, I got so choked up at that. And it's because everybody's endowing like that sort of, they're endowing this hunk of plastic and metal actual feelings. And they're treating him like he's a sentient being. And that's really rare. I love the direction that they took with that. And like the emotionality was just, I thought, was pitch perfect. So I don't know.
First thing I thought of was, I've never seen such devotion in a droid.
Yeah.
Like, the phrase came to mind before the scene. I'm like, oh shoot, that's cool. And I'm like, there's kind of like a precedent for something like this. So Ryan, what about you?
I am with Paul on this. The idea of a droid mourning is such a heavy thing, because I think people always kind of hinted at that, like R2 does that as well. But then to actually hear a voice to go with it, like him even saying, like, will you stay the night? Because they have to get the droid out. And he's just like, can we just stay?
He says, I don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone. Like, it's just
human.
Like
heartbreaking.
Damn. Like, it's it is such a heavy scene.
Whoops.
And it's, it's this guy. There it is. Yeah, I don't want to be alone. And it's it's
almost like they're dealing with a child who doesn't really understand what's going on, and they're all trying to be protective of this child droid, which is somehow they pulled it off.
Yeah, and they did such a great job. I mean, it's if there's one thing and it's funny too, because you see I believe it is this scene, it starts off with, you see them carting away the body. Correct?
Yeah, right after this, they bring her out on the outside of the house,
and it's
right. And so we've seen how the Empire deals with the death, which is like super cold, and we've seen now how it's like when it happens within a community, and this whole scene is just like like I said, like this show has just been able to like hit you in the gut in so many different directions and different ways. And this is just one of these top-notch storytelling scenes that, again, I think expands this franchise in ways for the better. And even if it's more adult, I still think this helps make things more relatable. And knowing somewhere else there's a samurai getting beaten up by a cyborg.
Imagine finishing episode 10. You have the performances of Mon Mothma, Luthen, and Caesar, and you're like, man, I can't wait for more great performances. I'm ready to. I'm not gonna cry. Out of nowhere, this droid delivers these lines, and you're in tears. You're like, oh, come on,
gone. Yeah,
the droid got me.
Yeah,
you're not safe.
Well, God. Well, and it's the medium in which they convey this part of the story. Marva dies off screen. There's no big scene for Fiona Reed, I think is the what's the actor's name who portrays Marva? There's no big death scene. You see she's ill from 2 episodes ago. That's the last time we see her, is from I think in episode 9, and she's wheezing and she's not doing well. And she dies off screen, right? There's significance in that she dies off screen. But like the way it's all
theories.
Yeah, I know. Well, and we'll get to that later. But it's like it's from B2's perspective. The muffled voices, the out of focus shot, the eye, the shaking, the teacup falling off, because he's visibly upset at all of this, right? And now this is his perspective too. He's watching them lead her away, right? And it's like it's just incredible again, the sensitivity in which they endow this droid with, and again it's how everybody interacts with this character. And I'll call B2 a character because he is a full-fledged character in all of this. He's endearing, he's loyal to a fault. He's not at his best, he's breaking down as well, but he cares about the people in his life. And you don't see that a lot in Star Wars, like with droids outside of R2-D2 or this or that. They're kind of like punchy sort of punchlines, like K2SO, who I adore, L3, who I thought was like a really sassy, C3PO, who's like this prissy little robot. He's like, and R2-D2 is supposed to be the most loyal of them all. Chopper as well, when you get to the animated series. But I mean, this level of pain that B2 feels, I think breaks new ground for Star Wars in terms of how droids interact with their masters, for lack of a better term, their owners, expiring, right? So it's just like, wow, that's different. It's another level of Star Wars. And Ryan, you were talking about this before, how it's like, and I never thought of it this way before, but it's like, okay, they don't need to sell. They're not necessarily wanting to sell toys with this. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I mean, it's a different kind of show. And I've always said, and if you look at it in any of the past episodes, Star Wars is a diverse enough universe that we can have different types of narratives and storytellings in different forms. They don't all have to be exactly the same. If you break with formula and you get something as spectacular as this genre show, and that's what it is, it's great. I think it's great. Star Wars is big enough that you can have all different forms. And I love that this is so much more sophisticated. And it's not to call Mandalorian or any of the other shows simple. Those are different types of shows. Those are adventure, swashbuckling, sort of like serial type shows. This is more of a political sort of drama or whatever. And so
everyone, let's wave hi to Yoko since she can't hear.
Sorry, don't kill me. Yeah.
And then now for Ernie, let's flip. No, let's not flip him off. Okay. You too, Ernie. Sorry, Paul. But speaking of selling merch, there isn't much B2 merch. Like the only Black Series version you can get of him is in the box set. Right. Is it San Diego, some sort of convention box set? Or no, sorry, PulseCon box set, which is at GameStop. Or there's a vintage collection version.
No, it's Droid Factory, and you can only get
Droid
it at the
Factory.
parks.
Yes, I saw it there and I passed stupidly.
Oh, dude.
That's okay. We got Steve 3. He's down there. He's gonna
Right,
get
and
us some.
don't forget Ernie. He
Ernie's
lives
down
at
there?
Disney parks, so
Yeah. So
we should be able to score some from him.
let's each ask for one from everyone, and then we'll army build. I think
Yes.
I think we need to do this.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
there
do
have
it.
to be 2 different versions of B2. You know that, right? Like old B2 where he's like, or like younger B2 where he's fresh and like still like fully functional, and like beat up B2.
He has to come with his charging station, though.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be cool.
That's what I want. That's that. Now that I've said that I want that, we'll never get that in Vintage Collection. And Black Series should just get canceled anyways. We don't need it. It's redundant.
Gus Kenobi says B2 toys will come later. We need to see his transformation first. Maybe there's a version where he's been hollowed out and his consciousness put into K2SO.
Oh, is that
Those
Is
are
that
two
what people are
totally different
speculating?
personalities,
wow?
right?
Yeah,
Like,
completely different.
We'll see.
K2SO is like, I don't care if you die or not, as long as I'm fine.
right?
Like,
There's
that's
like
him
there's
Maybe
Sarc-
that's his coping mechanism. How he deals with
Sarcasm?
death now. Yes.
Line.
Every droid handles it differently. It is a dog bed. His charging station, he's got little toys in there. Toy.
it is a dog bed. It's like it's his lasagna crate from
It's a dish.
from Garfield. Put a
Yeah.
little blue blanket over him. It's I love this droid so much, and it's funny because I think I fell in love with him right away in the show too, and then this just like
When those dogs peed on him in the first scene.
right. Yeah. Can we talk about all the living quarters we've seen in this show as well? This is something else we don't see a lot of in Star Wars.
Mhm.
Is like living rooms, bedrooms, refreshment centers, or bathrooms as we call them here. You know, like kitchens. Like we've seen a kitchen and dining room in A New Hope. We've seen again a kitchen and a dining room in Book of Boba Fett. We've seen a lot of bars and stuff like that, but we've never seen or have like full walkthroughs of houses and bedrooms and you know, and I know Paul's gonna make fun of me for this, but I'm just always like, yeah, this is the stuff I want. This is the place that's I need. I need doll houses for my Boba Fett's and my Fennec's, like 100%. And I love this, and I love all the attention to detail because you can see everything has a purpose and a reason, and you can tell who lives here just by the lighting and just how things are set up. Like this is so great. I love sets like these.
Like the worker gloves here hanging as well.
Yeah.
With everybody, her cane or stick. We have
Stick.
a new chatter in the chat. Cornholio Play-Doh, welcome. All right, so they're walking her body out, which like very smoothly leads us to, there's 2 different factions spying on this house at this moment. Possibly even more, but like it's crazy because it kind of plays into what Luthen says later on, where he's like, "Oh, haven't you met this person?" It's like, "Yeah, I've met him. Been in the same room as him, but he didn't know that." Right? So these 2 don't even know, that they're both spies, which is actually just building more suspense in this situation. But
One
we
is
find
clearly
out
better at it than the other one.
Yeah. That guy just screams Imperial spy.
Yeah,
Like
he
it's
does.
just he's such a loud.
That guy's a
He might
narc.
as well be wearing a
He-
sign
yeah, he is-
exactly
he-
that says Imperial narc on it. Like
Might as well
fuck,
wear a
he's-
blue headband.
right?
You know what I mean? Like it's just he's the Leonardo of this show, and he's kind of like
Oh my goodness.
what makes him like. It's Paul's right. Like he's pretty much screaming it, where it's like, so Cassian Andor hang out here often?
Exactly, right?
You know, what's
Looks like
going
somebody
on?
died. Did you know her? Tell
Did
me
you know her?
everything.
How long have you known her?
Sticks.
It's Cassian's mom, hey? Who would have thought? Think he'd be coming back? Yeah.
Here's the thing, and this is a working town, right? Everybody's got a job, But
Yeah,
Buddy
he's
can
hanging
stay at
out.
the cafe all friggin' day. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah.
He's
Come on.
he's working on his screenplay at Starbucks.
Right.
He's a writer.
He's
Don't you have a job? I'm a writer. There you go. Mystery solved.
yeah.
As she walks away, he's like, "Whew, my cover's intact."
Hang on. I'm just.
Checking on your.
I got.
shipments?
Sorry. I have Amazon is now like. I think they're here.
All right.
Oh, go get your toys.
parcels. I understand
will
how
go get-
important
Go get your toys.
how important
I
toys
will
are.
go get my toys. I'll be right back. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My apologies.
No, never apologize for toys coming. Like
Oh, that's fair too. I
toy
don't
deliveries
apologize.
is,
I
like,
love toys.
some of the best parts of my day.
Yeah.
I should work. No,
Let
just
him
go.
get
You
his
don't have to keep
toys,
listening.
Kevin. Jesus.
I'm just talking. I didn't say he had to hear me. I'm just filling the dead air
Keep
because
talking.
you
He's like,
weren't
yeah,
picking it up.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah, it's
picking
great.
it up.
Yeah, I like toys. No, but I work in
You-
a room overlooking the street, so I see every truck that
Oh,
drives by,
okay.
and I'm like a dog sometimes. I just see a shadow, I go,
right.
and then I'm like,
We've
"Is that
all
kind of a ghost?"
become. Yeah, it's like we're all. It's Pavlovian. I see a UPS truck go by or a DHL truck, or now like you can spot the Amazon trucks because they're all using the white vans with the inner city. Like they've got the special like stickers on the side because they're rented from
Mhm.
another company. They need so many of them. It's like Amazon, who, right? Anytime a
Even
truck
if you
goes
don't have
by,
anything coming,
right?
it's just
But
reflex.
that's happened to me where it's like I don't have anything coming, and like Canpar will show up, and or Pure Later. That's what happened the other day. Pure Later truck showed up, pulls up, and it's like, no, it was UPS, and he says, "Oh, I have 3 more boxes after this one," and Anna looks at me, and I'm like, "No, I didn't order. I don't know what this is. Like honestly, I swear to God," and it was from Gentle Giant, and they sent me these boxes of stuff, and I was like, "Oh my God." I didn't ask
Well,
for
you
it.
don't have the best track record of tracking your shipments, so who knows?
But this was
if
legit,
there's
though.
another truck coming.
This was legit. It wasn't me. This was sent to me by another company. I know. First world problems, right?
Yeah, John says the guys. How do you do, fellow civilians? Highly articulated. How's it going? Says, loving your hats tonight. Wondering if we can get a bitter enabler crossover hat.
Oh, well, there you go.
How about a
Bitter butter?
butter brigade or bitter nation?
Bitter Nation. Butter Brigade. It's weird.
Butter brigade. Sounds like butt brigade. No,
Butt.
that's not going to work. Tommy says the Narcs van is parked outside. Flowers by Irene.
There you go.
Where's Ryan's package? Does he have to like?
He lives in a building, so he's got to go down
Oh,
into the lobby to get it and stuff. So
They don't deliver it to the door.
no. Guess
All
he
right.
said, look at. I like to joke that his background. He's like it's all digitally. It's not really a background. That's just a painting.
This is a green screen.
It's a green screen. It's not. Look at all the stuff he's got there. He's got all these little
A lot of
things.
stuff.
Anyways. He's got the Lambda class shuttle. I see the Boba Fett starship.
Yeah, we were
Anyways.
talking about the TVC stuff earlier.
Right.
All right, we're gonna just go to
Cinta,
the next.
let's move
screen and
ahead.
we'll-
By
Look
like
at
30 minutes. Jump to the last frame and like let's pretend we've gotten to the very end. It's like, and that's it. Ryan, you fucking were gone for like 2 hours. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for
Welcome
filling
to the
in.
show, Ryan.
You did great. Thank you so much. Good to have
Oh
you
my
on
God.
board.
That'd be brilliant. Okay, yeah. So the Empire, they're talking. Dedra. Oh, damn. We could have done the joke. Hey,
I know.
what's going on?
He's back. Did you get your
You
toys?
can still do it. No, he's like asking me about buzzing, and he's here, but then he wasn't, and I was like, okay, well, he can just buzz when he gets here. Jackass.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So the ISB are dealing with they're still trying to set this trap for Cassian. They've been keeping tabs on Marva, but now that she's dead, she's like, okay, you know what, this is better. We want the funeral to happen. Give them their permit, whatever they want. Keep it small. Don't let it go on for too long. And that this is their chance to catch to catch Cassian or the person who they think is the contact as well. And so we cut back to the escape with Cassian and Melshi. They spot a ship. They make a run for it, and
The
this
quad jumper.
Spider-Man type web shooting automated motion sensing thing traps them. And they're caught by these two were they on what's the planet?
Narkina. So Narkinians.
Narkinians? Yeah. It's cool. We finally see some like new unique aliens. I thought
I want to bring this
great.
up because everybody up until this point was bitching and moaning, how come there are no aliens? Why are there no aliens? Where are the aliens? And then all of a sudden, we have an episode filled with aliens. See, thank God he's gone. All right. So here's the thing about Ryan. I'm just kidding.
Here's the real show.
Here's the real show. And that's I think it's really funny. The one thing that I joke about is a lot of people they don't know how television shows are made, right? Like these shows they're filmed months, years in advance sometimes, and it takes time to edit them and put in the VFX process, and they go through different cuts, director's cut, network cut, blah blah blah, and then they're sort of put out. So people seem to think that they see something that they can change something like in a week. So if like they get negative audience reactions, like, oh, well, we can fix that. And like, within a week, get everything done and make people happy. They discounted the fact that these things are planned out, maybe not the best, but they are meticulously planned out and they will, they happen. So when people suddenly see aliens, I know there's a group of people out there who go, see, they listened to us. We complained there were no aliens. And now they're aliens. So they just sort of threw them in there and they fixed it in post really quick. They had that magic button that just pressed. And they
couldn't use Rhodians? I know what Rhodians
are. But that's the thing. It's like, when people are like, oh, like in Book of Boba Fett, when they had the Mandalorian show up in episode 5, it's like, oh, did they take? They took the first 2 episodes of season 3 of Mandalorian and they put them in because Book of Boba Fett wasn't doing really well, and so that's what they did. It's like, of course they didn't do that. Of course they didn't, because what are they going to do for the next? Like TV doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, right? So there are, I think audiences need to be patient sometimes. Like if there's a question, it's like, well, why is this happening? It will be answered, or other things like, how come there are no aliens? They're going to show up. It is Star Wars. Just be patient. And here we go. So anyways, that's my little rant.
There's also headcanon ways to assume why there's no aliens in a lot of stuff. Like if you think about the prison, this could be like a human-only prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because usually when it's like other species, like Wookiees, for instance, the Wookiees were being slaves for something else. And so were Twi'leks at this time as well, as we saw in Bad Batch. Correct. So, I think there's a lot of segregation once the Empire came in as well. So, I think I know I'm stretching it, and I'm making things up in my own head of what I believe could be there. But I think that's the fun thing about. I think that's the fun thing about Star Wars is you can do that. There is that room to use your imagination a little bit, and I think even for a show like this. I think it's fair that maybe us as adults should still be using our imagination sometimes and not have everything spelled out for us.
Yeah. It's like, do we have to say everything explicitly, or can you just hold on to something and see how the story flows with that thought?
Correct. Yeah.
Just a modicum of patience, I think, does wonders. Does wonders.
I do love this though. I do love this trap.
Why did it have to sound so squishy? Like you could hear.
Why wouldn't it? Why
when they were moving around, all the noises.
Kevin, you are not allowed to feel comfortable in this show, ever.
True.
That's why.
It's all mucusy. I feel like it's almost organic that it shot out of that machine.
Yes.
Yeah, because those machines are actually the transplanted buttholes of the gigantic spider beings that were native to Narkina. So that's what it is.
There we go.
Harvested for just this reason.
Yes, exactly. The butt sack glands of the Narkinian spiders.
That's how Spider-Man shoots his webs.
That's how
yeah.
we should really.
Just Toby though.
Spiders don't shoot from their hands. From that's all I'm saying. They shoot from their butts. So really, Spider-Man should have been spinning webs of any size from his little fleshy spider. Anyways,
From in between his thighs.
there you go.
That's the rhyme. That's the rhyme. But no, I love this. I think this is so cool. Just this trap and just how easy they were to like capture. And as we get into this scene too, how we do have this like thing with Star Wars, and I think just in general too, when we see scary looking aliens that talk with deep gravelly voices and growls, we automatically think the worst for these characters.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just agreeing. We do think the worst, especially when they have knife hands.
Yes. Right. You're gonna, they're gonna slit throats and stuff. But it was, again, this whole scene was great, and it showed that there's, again, that this is another one of these scenes that gives you hope for these characters. That running theme, right? Because I think this whole interaction between Andor and him just being like, just listen to us, and they're like, we're prisoners from the Empire, this is the Empire's fault, not us tainting your waters, and they're just like, oh yeah, everything's Empire. Right? And I just go, oh no.
Yeah, they're two fun characters, and totally twisted the story around. We're like, oh crap, who's gonna come save them? I was hoping it's not one of those like, oh, someone's gonna come in from out of nowhere and save them in the last second.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, these guys, not only did they let him go, it's like, I'll give you a free ride. Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Where you be running to? I think.
Yes.
And I love that. I love it.
Yeah, I loved it too. These are two, again, we're going to keep, because to me, Star Wars and toys go hand in hand. If they do vintage collection figures of these guys, I will be 100% on board.
Oh my God, with the net shooting action.
Oh, now you're looking for $40 deluxe Walmart exclusive.
I'll pay that for squishy spider butt shooter thing.
Yes. Me too. Right?
I want to say what's up to 16 Shooter in the chat. What's up, Trevor? Last week we were questioning who originated in our stream. Who said it first? The theory of Luthen being a Jedi. And a friend of the channel, Detective Winger Lose, went back, watched it, found that Trevor was the one who suggested that. And we can talk about that later on this episode. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I want to know, does he have like echo like attachments for his hands? That'd be so cool.
He's a mod.
Look at his gut. He's got it like in his gut, like that. It's not a belt. That's embedded right there.
That's to hold his pants up.
Shirtless, dude. Yeah, they staple it to his stomach. That's how he keeps his pants up. Look at the bald spot on his head. That's another plate right on his head. That is not. If you look at that. That's a full plate. So he's been heavily modded, which is why maybe he only grunts and goes,
Could be.
Like all of his dialogue says speaking in Narkinian.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like a couple of grunts of affirmation or not. I think this guy's like he's not all there. He's not all there.
And his buddy with the underboob is also like really like I don't know. I just dig both of them.
Yeah.
I think
this is the underboob.
That's the underboob, right? That's
my
underboob,
God.
right?
No, man, that's his gut.
Oh, maybe I'm just projecting.
Underboob.
I'm just seeing what I want to see.
Ryan. Oh
his
my
front
God.
But he's also a very cool looking character.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Also very cool. And again, it's that whole like these guys are scary looking. They're probably going to try and eat them. Yeah. Oh, he's a mod too.
That's a light.
Yeah, he's a mod.
Like a
he
headlight.
mines things.
Yeah.
I thought it was a gauge.
I like the turtle shell for a head too.
He looks kind of like a penis, actually.
What's with you two?
Look, his belly is his nutsack.
Oh, okay. Next.
No, wait. Look at that. You can't deny it. He's there. You go. Adult toys for an adult show.
That's right. There it is. Oh my
Penis
god.
Man and Mod Boy.
Oh, look, he
Good
changed
go,
his
man.
weapon. I just realized.
He's got a canoe.
That's a shiv.
It was like a cleaver before.
Well, it might be the angle of it because he's got it switched, like held sideways.
Maybe.
I think
Alright.
it flips open.
It's a switchblade. Of all the weapons he could have had installed on his hand.
Switch
on his
cleaver.
stump. Switch
Well, I think
cleaver.
they were fishing, weren't they? Wasn't that the reason
Yeah.
they were there? So
Yeah.
maybe that's just to clean the fish right there
Yes.
and then, nice and quick, right?
Yep.
So it's not there for necessarily like, you know, killing people. It's not used for fighting, though it could be. But I think it's mostly used for their job. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, they're nice enough guys. They not only did they set them free, they actually gave them a free ride back to Niamos.
Yes.
Niamos, yes.
Yes.
And
And
then
you know, when you figure out, you find out how really dirty that resort is, because he kept his box
Nobody
hidden
cleans?
on top of the fridge. Yeah, on top of not the fridge, the shower.
the shower
So it's like
for what is it? 8
he's
months?
been in Arkina 5 for how long now? Like over a month at least, no, a couple of months maybe, right?
It's
and
it's
it's
like
like-
6 to 8 months.
Well, time
Yeah, so-
definitely passed because when we saw him in the prison the next time, that next episode
Yeah.
after getting put into prison, he's just sucking on that tube, like all
Yeah.
willy nilly and chill. Like, he's just relaxed and knows the drill. Gets
There you
gets
go.
the job
So,
done, right? Because that's when everyone
it's
thought
just-
they were going to be getting out in 6 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, once again, and this holds true. Any resort you go to is never nearly as clean as you think it is. So if you really want to freak yourself out, pack a black light. You can find out
God.
just how clean
No,
your
I'm-
hotel room is.
I'm better
'Cause
not.
even in the Star Wars galaxy, they don't clean above the shower. So
This
they-
show is so realistic.
right. Right.
It's just like real life.
Yeah, I don't have black lights in my place for a reason, Paul. So I'm not going to be taking one traveling.
Yeah. Wow. Your place, I would understand, Ryan.
He has a lot of cool toys here.
Yeah, they can see it from space.
That's awesome. That's
Darth Gutierrez, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. All right, so back in the antique shop again. Claire's her name, right? She's high up in this rebellion. She may be Luthen's helper, but she's got
Move your
she's got
cursor
the-
because the hand is blocking your face.
there.
There. Sorry, it was like really disconcerting.
Now you know
This little hand
Oh.
on her face. She's like, stop.
That's who it is. Remove the toothpick.
Oh, her. I thought it was Princess Leia.
Yeah.
She does give off serious Princess Leia vibes, though, right? Like she looks like a young Carrie Fisher,
Women in the
And she's
rebellion
just as-
are a certain type.
right? No, but she's just
White
like
girl.
what I love is she's all
Wait,
fucking
what?
business.
White brunette women do really well in the rebellion. They rise up those ranks pretty quick. But
Don't forget the British accents.
that's when they come and go. Absolutely. But I do love her character, and I love her. I can't remember who the blonde is. Anyone?
That's
Vel?
Vel. That's
Val,
Vel.
Thank you.
She,
And-
Aldani, the whole
Yep.
mission where they stole 80 million credits.
Yep.
Cousin of
I know.
Senator Mon Mothma.
Correct. Yeah. But I
I
love
know.
how it's
Lots
like
of white
That's
people.
her.
It's hard to keep track of who they
I
are.
know, right? And
You know who
they,
Cinta is, though. You know
Yes,
who
absolutely.
Cinta is. Because
100%.
they
No
have her
diversity.
working the tables. Right? Hey,
Come on,
you,
Ryan.
you'll blend in. You work the
I'll-
table. Be our spy.
Yeah.
I want to say what's up to Oilers Workshop, who's in the chat. Oilers Workshop was the guest on Unboxing Thursday 2 days ago. I could barely speak that day. So, Jordan, I really hate that I missed getting a chance to chat with you on that episode, but I had Mike, High School Creations, step in and guest host. And it looked like you two had a good time. It was a great episode. And we're going to have to reschedule that one for sure because I can't wait to. I was really looking forward to talking about your dioramas, about your work, and goofing around talking Simpsons and Star Wars and stuff like that. So thank you for being here. And I mean, you can hear it in my voice. This is not my voice. This is a voice changer that I'm using.
Darth Kevin.
Hello there. Oh, that was weird. Okay, let's not do that again.
Most impressive.
Most impressive. All right, so I love this line where Vel's like,
yeah.
"Oh, I just stole 80 million. What have you done lately?" She's like, "Lately, please."
Yeah,
It's a
I live
pissing
this shit.
contest, right? It's a huge
Gotta live
pissing
this shit
contest.
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, look
I
at this
steal
line.
80
I
million
have
an hour.
and she's like, "Yeah, guess who put that thing in motion? Like, I'm involved. Like, you stole it because of me." And things that they worked on. So I have this line. I have a constant blur of plates spinning and knives on the floor. I thought it was going to be another like huge scene with a huge I don't know, speech, but it was over pretty quick. She was just like, "All right, what do you want me? What message do you want me to deliver?" And they're like, "Oh, Marva's dead."
Yeah, I'm not just an
Right.
assistant. Like, hold up. Let me make
Yeah,
sure you're
it
put in
was-
your place. You get me the copy. That's how this works here.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny too. At the end, she says, "I'll let him know who gave me the information too." Right?
Mhm.
Like it's the pissing contest
Mhm.
in terms of who's bringing who what, and like Vel doesn't want to leave until she gets credited for bringing that information, type thing. Like till she's assured. I thought that was really really interesting. This whole scene being played out, because it was like the whole idea of Vel going, "I don't have time to play these games," and Clea's like, "You fool! Everything you're doing is wrong. If we don't play these games, people die. Mistakes are made." Like she is under the assumption, and I think that's what's keeping them alive, is that they are being monitored at all times. So just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean the rest of us have to break protocol. And it's what I love about a lot of the scenes, especially with the women in it. There's an incredible amount of restraint that's being shown. All of Genevieve O'Reilly's scenes as Mon Mothma, she has to be under control the entire time. She can't just flip out. She knows she's being watched. Clea, same thing. The amount of restraint, and this is a master's class in acting, playing the subtext, really, really not being overly earnest or overly demonstrative. This is what I love about these scenes. They are, all of them, fantastic actors, and they're taking this writing and they're really elevating good writing to great performances. And I simply cannot say enough about the level of performances this entire series has given us as viewers. Right there, I don't think for me there's been one misstep so far in terms of the performances. I'm really, really digging it.
Mel Dade says, "Do we estimate that Leia would be 16 or 17 right now, like in this timeline, as this is happening?" Alderaan is mentioned, but we will have to wait until this is 5 years
5 years
from
before New Hope.
Rogue One. Yeah.
And Rogue One takes place like 12 hours before A New Hope.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's 20. We're supposed to have 20 years between Episode 3 and A New Hope.
And she's supposed
Is
to
it
be
20
what?
years?
18 in A New Hope?
18. Okay,
She's
so then she'd
18
be
in A New
13.
Hope, so it's 18 years, right?
She'd be
Yeah, so
13.
she's 13 here.
We're calculating time.
Quick
See,
maths.
Bad Wolf Media says it's 19 years, right? So she'd be 14.
All right. 14's fine.
Is Luke only 19?
They're twins, dude.
No, and I'm trying to see. I know. I'm trying to think, like, does he seem like a
So-
19-year-old or in A New Hope? Okay, they're
Well,
19.
he's a very
Cool.
sheltered 19-year-old in A New Hope.
Mhm.
So you've got Leia running a Senate and a rebellion, and you got Luke just like playing with his
I wanna go to
T-16
Tashi.
Skyhopper, giving his droids a bath, right? Like it's two different Two
He's like,
different
yeah, he's
worlds.
whining about having to do chores.
Yeah.
But he's had to do chores for
Exactly.
19 years, Kevin. He's
Yeah.
been wanting to go to the academy for a number of years now, right?
We know
And his
Leia
uncle
never
keeps
did
holding him
chores.
back. No,
Leia didn't.
she
do
had
chores.
people to do chores for her.
Absolutely.
She had little alien children like standing in for her so she could run out the back and play.
Yep. She had a hockey puck for a best friend that floated.
There you go.
That's funny that they mention in the show, or people. What do they say? Little rich girls pretending to fight in the war
yeah.
or something like that. About,
Yep.
but then look at some of the leaders of the rebellion: Mon Mothma, Leia, Princess from Alderaan, and I'm reading some Star Wars comics now. I think Leia's like Admiral Holdo is in there too, in the comics right now, and they're like,
yeah, okay.
yeah. So it's funny they kind of, I guess, maybe unwittingly took a jab at that, at some of the future leaders. Maybe we cut back to, look at this guy, so sassy in the background. She's like, oh, I'm just waiting until my break.
That's Captain. That's the guy that wanted to be the. Can I be called the prefect?
Yeah,
I know it's not a bump in pay, but he just wanted the title.
yeah. They're still questioning poor Bix, who's still feeling the side effects of her scream torture, whatever that alien was screaming at her. And the Empire, they think this Axis person that they're looking for is Anto Kreegyr, because they're asking her, is this your contact?
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize this person?
Yeah, that's my brother.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah. But this is like, I love all this Empire stuff that we've been getting in this too. This like new Empire who just think they're the cock of the walk, and you know, I love it because you know, it really shows how unprepared they are, because they've had such an ego, and just how unprepared they are for if there's any retaliation. And I just love like scenes like these where they're just like you said, like the guy in the back, just like
it's the arrogance, but it's also, you know, and we'll get into this during Luthen's scene. Oops, sorry, what is that? During Luthen's scene with Saw Gerrera, like when he says,
"My God,"
we'll get to that, but it's like, like let them think that they're winning, because then they will be completely unaware. I mean, and that's the truth. It's like, you know, Rocky in Rocky 3 came in all these easy matches, and when Clubber Lang steps up, like he's completely unprepared for it. And that's kind of the feeling. It's like, if we tip them off, if we awaken the beast, and then suddenly they become, you don't want to poke the dragon, because then they will use all of their might. But if they think they don't have to put any effort in, and this is a recurring theme. Andor says it too, right? It says it's just the arrogance. Just stroll in like you belong there, because they don't feel like they need to listen. They can't fathom the idea that somebody as dirty or as low stature as me can do that. So it's one of those things where arrogance it's the contempt, the superiority, where they feel like they're untouchable. And that's why the rebellion has been able to sort of steal all these little bits and this and that, because of the arrogance of it. And it's like, once you give them a bloody nose, that's when they wake up and flex. But until then, I think one of the wonderful things is, and smart tactically is, let them think they're running the house, and they're going to be there because they're incredibly sloppy, right? Arrogance breeds that sloppiness.
A lot of people want to cosplay as this Anto Kreegyr, apparently, in the chat. This is probably like their version of police sketch artist, but like digitally done.
Nice, yeah.
Of Ryan.
Yeah, of me.
Yeah, but Anto Kreegyr, we know, is the, I guess, one of the groups or factions of the rebellion that that Dedra is setting a trap for, and that's the one where Luthen's like, "Oh, it's okay. We don't want to tip them off. We'll think the Empire's still in control. Let's burn that group." And then that's how Saw gets involved later in this episode. All right, here we go.
This part, man. What the
Oh
hell?
man.
What the hell, right?
Yeah, so Vel shows up to meet up with Mon Mothma, and the Mon Mothma's daughter, who last episode we find out, if Mon Mothma wants to get her money, she has to deal with this kind of scummy loan shark, I guess, who wants to have his son betrothed, or at least a meeting set up with her daughter.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden we see she's in this. Is it a class? Like a class.
It's like Bible study in that sense. Like, this is the vibe it gives up. This is the Bible study where they're just preaching the all the dogmatic sort of phrases. Like, it's like they're chanting that phrase again and again and again. It's like indoctrination, right? And it's like it's this little cult. It's this cult about, hey, let's go back to the old ways. And honestly, I believe, and Anna pointed this out, the only reason she's doing that is because she knows her mom is against it. Like, her mom is a product of this and is now like, no, we're not going to do the betrothal thing. It's an outdated Chandrillian ritual. It's, it's antiquated. It's actually backwards. We're not going to do it. So, of course, her being a headstrong teenager who wants to sort of flex her independence is going to go against the grain and say, you don't like it, I'm going to lean right into it. And so that's why she's into it. Right? It's this whole, let's do it, let's arrange a marriage, right?
There's multiple times
where
she stops and looks dead into the camera, and you, the viewer, is supposed to be Mon. So she's like, hey, what's up, guys? Just like dead stare, and then like, back to normal.
I'm loving this. How do you like that?
Holding the eye contact. So I think this is cool because at this point we find out really why Mon Mothma is, like, how much trouble she's in. She's kind of finding out too, but we find out, like, before she was able to, she was so wealthy, she was pulling 100,000 credits from multiple accounts, I think every month or something like that. And there would be no trouble up until recently, where she got a heads up from like a Chandrillan banker who was like, hey, the Empire is going to start looking at bank accounts here on Chandrilla. So get your ducks in a row.
Yeah,
is that the phrase?
Books in order?
Yeah. Books in order. Same thing. So like Paul with his cooked books of which toys he actually bought and which toys are ordered. She had to go back and fix those numbers. They
can't. If the books are right here, they can't exploit them. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Kevin.
Your mind is a steel trap. But she was able to recover most of that money except for 400,000 credits, which she looked to Luthen for help, and also Tay Coma. These new names are awesome, but I can't remember all of them. And we find out, there's a way for her to get the rest of that money, which is to what betrothed? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Agree to the marriage?
Betrothal. It's an arranged marriage.
Right? Yeah, it's an arrangement. Yeah.
It's completely an arranged marriage. And that's why, like, when the last episode, when he says, I just want them to meet, she's like, it's not just a meeting. You want them to marry. It's not just a, and that's the subtext. That's why she's so freaked out. Because if it's, they're just going to meet, big deal. But she knows, no. The plan, the end game is for him to marry into her family.
Well,
isn't it going to backfire on the daughter?
Well, it could.
Well, they're all going to die.
Here's how everything would backfire, because if this loan shark is like the mafia and she is high upper class, he wants in that family. At the moment his son gets arranged marriage into that family, he's in that family. So now his little criminal empire of like shady business deals and stuff, now it's going to it's going to be legit, and
he's going to have access to all these other rich families,
and her own like wealth, because that wealth is probably brought into the family. We don't know necessarily how things work with the family dynamics necessarily for all this, but this means he has access to money then as well, more money, just through his son. So this is bad news bears all around. The only person that wins in this scenario is the loan shark.
Yeah, but the daughter's like, I'm gonna rebel. Mom's gonna hate this if I go.
But you know what?
And she's like, oh, okay, here we go.
Trust me, it looks like Mon Mothma's already regretting her arranged marriage. I'm pretty sure her daughter will too.
Yeah, and again, this whole she has to show restraint all the time. Man, every scene and her killing it is just like screaming on the inside, and you just see it in her eyes. It's incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, like even when they go to the back, like in past episodes, when she goes into the back room of the antique shop, and she could kind of express the concerns in an appropriate manner. She's still holding back.
Yeah, there's still a little shop window.
Yes, right? It's so good. Even though they can talk seriously and straight up what's going on, she still has to keep the posture of not losing her mind and freaking out. So it's she's killing it. They've turned Mon Mothma into easily one of my most favorite characters in Star Wars.
Absolutely. Shout outs to Middle School Creations. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Oilers Workshop says it's called laundering your toys. The mob guy, you kind of got the sense of it when he was first in his scene, right? Where he's like, oh, these rich, wealthy families and this and that. I think he's trying to get into that, kind of buy his way into that level of society, I guess.
Right. You got to be, and the whole thing is too, she's still in that spot where she can't trust anybody. So she can't necessarily trust him, even though, he could easily turn. We don't know. She's got her buddy from high school too. That's helping her with her banking. Right. We still don't necessarily know everything about him and whether or not we can trust him. The only person we can trust right now is Mon Mothma, because we know where she's going to end up.
This is the look. This is the look.
That's the look. Cold.
No, I disagree. I think she's looking at her mom. She's clocking that her mom is visibly upset. And I would like to think that, as spoiled or as obstinate Lita is trying to make herself be, she does care about her mom.
She did it at the table too, though, when she was reading.
If she really hated her mom, she would not care how she reacted. But she's looking at her. She's clocking her. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like that whole you only antagonize the ones that you love the most in that weird perverted sense, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because if you didn't care about him, why would you bother checking to see the reaction or this or that? So she's clocking her mom is upset. And getting back to the conversation that you were having before about the restraint, is Mon Mothma can't afford to let herself let it all out, because the recovery takes too much. So when she's in Luthen's and she's allowed to, they're kind of safe, she can't have that release, because she can't recover in time to leave and get back in the car, because everybody's watching her. So even in a quote unquote safe environment, she can't do that. So she's under an incredible amount of pressure to just sort of keep that sort of in check, right? Until she can release it at an appropriate time. Like the time Daddy got drunk and hit the referee with the scotch bottle. Do you remember that? Huh? Yeah. With the whiskey bottle. So. Nice. Simpsons reference. Right?
Remember Daddy did that? He's like, yeah. I like that they have the tree inside the house too.
Yes.
Privilege.
Very wealthy.
Well, you can always tell who's privileged in Coruscant by the view from the window.
Yes. They are high up. Oh, Syril.
Sneer.
All right.
He looks insane. Look at that. Those eyes,
Cyril's
he's
mom
just like-
wakes him up in the middle of the night. You have a phone call. And of course, it's his former sergeant, that other crazy dude who's working
Mosk.
as a smelter now, I guess. Oh wait, and
living his
he
best life,
basically-
man.
I know.
He's just
It was like trying to have a video call with my dad. It's like, what? What are you saying? He's like,
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
no, Cassian,
exactly.
exactly. What about him? Where is he? And it's like,
No,
She
no,
died.
I'm here.
She died. She'll be coming over. To where?
every time
I
my
love
dad
this
calls
game.
me. No, it's just real quick. Every time my dad calls me, I'll pick up. He'll call my cell, and I go, hello, and he'll say, Kevin, and he won't say anything until I say, yeah. And I'll try to see how long I can hold that pause before he, and like I've held it for so long. I go, yeah, it's me. So yeah, this
Well,
whole scene,
really.
I've lived it. But sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. That's amazing. But I do love that, like, that phone calls drop in Star Wars as well. Like, it's just, I love that there's bad connections. Doesn't matter where you are. Because I wasn't quite tell. Was he like in the middle of a battle? Like, what was going on behind him?
Smelting. Hard work.
He's working. He's a working man.
Well, can he call after work?
No, I think he said this was the only phone time or something like that. But I loved
Oh,
how the mom
okay.
was kind of watching in the background the call. He's like,
That
get out of here,
mom-
mom. I'm talking to my friends. We're playing Xbox.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And she just goes, and she literally just steps around the corner and listens in anyway.
I
Which is
know.
what all
She's
parents
such a
do.
nosy old bitch. I wish she would just go away.
I'm
But
surprised
now
he
you
didn't
know-
he didn't kill her before he left.
But here's the thing. Now you know why Karn is the way he is. I mean, you go, oh, why is this so creepy? Look at his mom. Look at the way she treats him. Of course he
Yeah.
has no idea how to deal with people. This is what he's grown up with, man. His dad isn't dead. He's in hiding. That's the thing, right? Like, this whole thing about, oh my God, he's so creepy. It's just like, this is his family. That's what he was escaping from, right?
Right.
Like, he can never win. When he succeeds, she shits on him. When he fails, she shits on him. Every turn, she shits on him. And it's like, yeah, man, this is why he has no idea how to react to Dedra. How anybody, like, for the first time, a female listens to him during an interrogation because she's questioning him. He's like, oh my God, somebody listen to me finally. And he goes towards that, right? Like a moth towards a light. He's just like, he can't help it because he's had such a shitty time. And so, like, this screen cap is brilliant because it's just this whole, like, oh my God, you're telling me this is still a thing? Like, it's like he's desperately clinging on to any way out of where he's at. And that's why he's fixated on Andor, because he's positive. He knew he had some traction. If he can just catch Andor, everyone will get off his back and he'll be proven right. And that's the thing, right? Like, he just needs to get away or to prove to his mom he's not a fuck up. And that's why he's like a dog on a bone, man. Like, it's sad.
It is pretty sad.
He gets too. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, he's still one of those guys too. Like, you see how shit his life is, but I still have zero sympathy for him. Like, absolutely none. I'm just like,
You're
dude,
just a cold-hearted bastard. That's just you.
He just creeps me out. I don't like him.
No, he does. He's very creepy.
Especially
with all those.
He is. But look at his mom. That's all I need to say.
Right.
It's like, he doesn't know better. He honestly does not know better. His mom has no filter, so why should he? He's never learned it. He's never learned how to read a room. He just, yeah, this is how you do things. My mom just says whatever she wants, right? To me. So that's what he's going to do.
Typical statue collector.
You shut your filthy cake hole.
because of
Kind
the
of half true.
Kodo
He's like
Bukiya
he's the type of
statues
guy
that
that
he
makes
has.
his own statues and 3D prints them, and they're all like busty.
Whoa! Let's not
I'm kidding.
not talk bad about.
I
3D printing.
digress.
You've
No,
gone too far. You've gone too far.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mario's
Looking-
here.
Looking for some X's over your eyes, right?
That's right. Looking for X's over the eyes. No. I appreciate all that stuff. I'm just doubling down because that's what I do.
Absolutely. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
What's up, Mario? Did you watch this episode yet? If
If
not,
you didn't, you should probably jump out.
Spoiler
after
alert, we're
30
talking
seconds.
about it. So
spoiler alert, we're 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
But Syril gets the news that Marva died, and there's going to be a funeral, and he's like, when is it going to happen? So he steals some credits from his mom's safe when she's gone wherever she's going, space bingo, I don't know, and he's headed back to Barracks. Man, that took a while
Right.
to cycle through my brain.
Yeah.
Could you see like me trying to calculate?
Yeah.
Not
Tick,
quickly,
tick,
no.
tick, tick, tick.
Eldani. Oh, there it is, Ferrix. And yes, this is the back in Miami. Cassian somehow snuck into the same hotel room.
Miamos.
I mean, it's
So,
not even
okay.
that high up. That's why
So
I took
here's
this
the thing.
wide
Here's the thing.
screenshot. Yeah.
So the alien creature that's sleeping in the bed.
Yeah.
It's somebody I don't know where I read it, but it's like they thought Andor actually had sex with the alien to get in the room, like while they're asleep, went to steal his stuff to run out.
We don't know that he didn't.
We don't know that he
Yeah,
did.
we don't.
But that's the first time I heard that theory of he slept with the alien so he could get access to his
He is a
stuff.
player.
I am a
There you
very
go. He does
firm
have a
believer in
reputation.
interspecies relationships in Star Wars.
You're just hopeful that you can
I will.
one day.
One
hook up
day
with
I
an
will.
alien.
One day.
Dang
There will be an
alien.
alien that'll land on Earth, and I'm going to have relations with it.
Oh,
One
you're
day.
gonna start an intergalactic war.
Maybe. Maybe. I do love this. I want this as a playset too.
Yeah,
It's gonna start a war.
yeah, right. He'll sleep with the wrong alien. It'll be like
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet, but end in tragedy.
But Romeo and Juliet does end in tragedy.
I know.
Oh.
It's The Simpsons. Jesus, suffering. Fuck. You're telling
Clearly,
us the actor?
he's like, oh, I never finished it.
Yeah.
Ryan is waiting to make out with a face hugger.
Yeah, it's thanks, Tommy. You're half right. You're half right.
So here's a little nitpicky part of me for this episode. He sneaks in there. He opens the box to look inside to make sure all the shit is still in there,
Mhm.
right? If the box is there, why would somebody take the box, take all the shit out of the box, and put the box back, right? The box is literally a vessel to carry all that shit. So if he goes there and the box is there, just take the box and get out and assume it's there. And you can check outside, because if the stuff isn't in the box, you're still stuck in that room, right? Like every extra second he spends in there is time he can get caught, that the alien's going to wake up, take a leak, or whatever the alien does, and he's going to get caught. And that's the thing that sort of gets me. Now I understand, part of me is like, okay, it's the writing too. People have to kind of go, okay,
It's for the viewer.
we need to know why he's there and what's in the box, right? But that's and I'm nitpicking. But that part did sort of bug me. It's like, why are you spending time opening this box and looking inside? Like he
I
even
think if
pulls
I
out the
were-
credits. Are these real credits still in there? It's like, we get it. Just you have your money hidden there.
Yeah, I think I
Go.
see what you're saying. I think I personally would check to make sure everything's in. I wouldn't flip through each one and see if.
But
it's
that's what he
still
did. He took
real
time
credits.
to like lift
Yeah.
up the credit. Yup, still Imperial credits.
Take the bite out of it. Make sure someone
Yeah.
didn't replace it with chocolate.
Let's move the gun to make sure the other gun is underneath there. Like I that for me is kind of like, that's the whole. That took me out a little bit. It just
Did that ruin all of Star Wars and
This
all
is
of
what.
everything for you? Oilers Workshop says this is what Cassian was referring to in Rogue One when he said, "You wouldn't believe the things I've done. You wouldn't believe the people I've done for the rebellion."
Right.
Yeah.
And then Gary Mark, he actually checked Nemec's diary. It's like, yep, manifesto's still there. It's like, why would you open it? You know already it speaks. Like it's a dictated thing, unless that's the first time he ever opened it to listen to Nemec's voice.
It's got
But
a good
it's stuff
battery.
like that, which just feels a bit in a series that has been so good at not leading you by the hand to something to go, okay, here we go. Are you ready, dear? Here's the information you need. You know, it's that just seems so out of place. That one, and I'm gonna bitch about it because now
When they
I'm like
finally did it, here's Paul.
three doubles in. I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
bitch about
why.
it.
Okay,
So
that
let's
makes sense
go.
now. Here we go.
Shut
We're
up.
almost done. Oh God.
Can you hear
All
that
right.
every time
You
I've
say
got my
shut up?
AirPods in, and when I adjust them, I must be turning on some of the music, and Pass the Dutchie keeps playing in my ear.
No.
You can't hear that. eh?
Oh.
All right.
Nope.
What kind of party were you having?
I don't know where this playlist is coming from. It must be Apple Music something.
We have here. Highly Articulated says they had to show both guns so that when he gave one gun away, we still understand he has one for himself.
But they've already established that beforehand.
That he
right?
had
'Cause
two
they
guns?
said- yeah, that he has two guns because Skeen goes, what's this? You got this this company issued gun. What's up with that?
Right.
Hey, I'm Skeen. Look at me. You know, it's just
I don't
like,
even remember what he put in the box. I remember he put credits in there, but I didn't remember how many blasters he had.
money and guns.
It's all good.
He got that fancy
Yeah.
flip one, and then the one that he got off the officer that he.
You know what I don't like? When before the episode starts, they'll show you like previously in,
You don't
but
like
not
the
like
recap?
last episode. Yeah, recap, but then they'll show Syril and his sergeant from however many episodes ago. And I'm like, oh great. So we know that guy's coming back this episode. It's like I don't remember that guy from before. You don't have to show it.
You
in
know,
a recap. That's
you
them
can skip the
leading you.
recaps, right? Like it just gives you the option.
I miss. It's a
Skip
very small
recap.
window to hit that button, and then it just
Skip-
goes, and
skip
then I'm just
intro.
invested.
Little just press the button. Just goes, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try that next time.
That's what you get for watching the episodes on your phone in the bathroom. That's all I'm gonna say.
My hands were otherwise
That's
occupied.
all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Sex toys. There you go.
All right, here
Yeah,
we go.
speaking
Speaking of
of,
which,
Speaking of full
speaking
hand.
of, we go to Luthen visiting Saw Gerrera, and he's being searched. Saw is apparently in one of those moods, and so this guy pulls out this. This is the walking stick we saw before that telescopes back in to just this handle. But why show it again? What's the significance of this? The writers know what they're doing. There's a reason for this, right? This guy is very confused. He's like, ugh, where's this been?
It smells
Why
like
did I-
shit.
Where did I pull this from? I
Yeah, it
wish I
smells
hadn't
like
searched it.
shit. Yeah.
Either
Go.
put
Why
it back
didn't-
up there or throw it away.
There you go.
You don't know what it is, shove it back in there.
Yeah. That's
So, there's a lot of speculation going on, I think.
like, could that be a
fairly.
lightsaber handle? I don't know.
It did look lightsaber-ish.
It's
the beginning,
really,
but it was-
really long. Unless it's a dual lightsaber. Just saying, the hilt is
Like
super
his,
long by half.
if it's a
Well,
dual
maybe
bladed
that top
lights.
part removes, and that part that he's holding is the actual handle.
Which part removes? Like the ribbed section?
No, the rib section's the actual handle.
Right. The pommel,
Yes,
the handle.
that part gets removed, and now
Right.
it's a lightsaber. There it is.
So that's long, smooth bit. Just that's the beard, as
That's
it was.
correct.
That gets removed and.
There. Yep,
That'd be
Ah,
cool.
that would be cool.
You know
It
what
looks
I always
really
like?
okay. Then I'm gonna say then if that ribbed section, segmented section, is
Mhm.
actually the handle, it looks really short. Right. If you look
You
at,
can't have it both ways, Paul.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, It looked like the ribs. It makes sense for that to be a handle, but it looks too short. Like I'm using the dude who's holding it, his hand as a reference guide.
Right.
That's really short.
Well,
right? Because if you look at Luke's lightsaber, Obi-Wan's lightsaber,
what about Yoda's?
Darth Vader's, they're a little bit. There's more room.
Yoda's is shorter.
Palpatine's yeah, but look at how big Yoda's hands are. He's got these tiny little things. He's
Daddy
not
Palps
running around with like, what's that?
Daddy Palps has got a short lightsaber hilt.
It's curved.
Maybe
it's not curved. You're thinking Dooku.
Dooku?
Dooku is curved.
Doku. Like Sudoku? His brother Sudoku?
Sudoku. Brother, sister of Count Dooku. Oh my god. So stupid.
But either way, the Count's is curved. The Emperor's is not.
Right.
But the Emperor's also has a short hilt as well. He has a smaller hilt.
Well, because he only ever fights one-handed.
Aha!
Right? So, okay.
That's fine. There's this little like rubber butt here. Maybe the emitter's on this side.
That's a sex toy. He shoves it up his bum for fun.
Yeah.
Or other people's bums. You know, that might be his thing. He runs around jamming it up people.
Right?
It's an adult show.
No judgment. No judgment
whatsoever.
Here.
And the crystal that goes in there is hanging out with Andor. So there you go.
It's not the size.
No, he doesn't have it anymore. He gave it to Vel to give back to Luthen.
Right. So now then Luthen would have that crystal for said lightsaber.
Yeah, we haven't seen her hand it over to him, or that he has it, right?
They've never seen. Yeah, they haven't actually seen each other because that's why Vel went. She wanted
she's
to
looking
see
for him,
right? Yeah.
And
now here's the other thing too, because that's later on. It's after the scene. Never mind. Bring it up later.
Showing restraint, Paul. That's new.
Yep.
He's the Mon Mothma in today's episode.
Sudoku. All right, there's some cool stuff here in this wide shot. Some X-wings.
2 X-wings, yeah.
We got the furry guy here.
Taking a leap, butt aside.
I totally missed that on both times I watched it. Good eye.
It's a quick part. It's like Where's Waldo, but with a lot less people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Very cool.
But it's cool that those X-wings in there.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, previously, Luthen was trying to get Saw to help Anto, and Saw was like, "No, I'm not going to help." But then all of a sudden, when Luthen shows up, Saw Gerrera says, "Count me in. I'm going to give them air support. Just give me all those supplies that you promised." But now things have changed, right? Now it's supposed to be, it's a trap that the Empire has set, and I just love how Saw quickly, question after question, pieced it together. You're protecting someone. You have somebody on the inside, or your ISB, and it continues their previous conversation where they're both kind of like questioning each other. Or maybe you're the spy, or maybe you're trying to double cross me, and it just keeps going. But it's more serious this time, and it's another incredible scene where Forrest Whitaker, right? It's just he's just playing this character who we've seen so many times, and he's just getting more and more paranoid as we know him to be, and it's leading him down to that path of Rogue One when we see him last. Lies, deception.
Lies. Yeah, and that's how what makes him become such an extremist. That the Rebel Alliance, as it were, would push him out.
Right.
And we start to see the seeds of him coming into the Alliance, but what we see what's eventually going to get him pushed out.
And this whole thing Luthen's trying to teach him and we touched on it briefly, if the Empire is relaxed, that's when they're vulnerable. So if we tip them off and we save Kreegyr, then they're going to be looking out all the time. Like, why didn't that happen? And as a result, Saw's like that forever. He's like, oh shit, that's right. I can't trust anyone. What if you have somebody in my camp right now? And then he's like, yeah,
Right.
of course. Tube's over here. And Tube's like, what the fuck, man? I let you in. That's
Should
not
have given me
true.
my shit back sooner.
Completely sets him on this course of, and to be this kind of extremist with trust issues. Oilers, he's just paranoid of everybody going forward until he can Borgullet at them.
Yeah, right.
I want to see. I want to see where that came from.
It's a beautiful. I mean, really, it comes from this: a creature that is able to read minds, right, to get the absolute truth out of somebody. But I mean, it all comes from this, and what I love is Luthen says it's like, I'm playing. Do you want to join in? Do you want to do it, or do you want to play the long game on it? And that's what it is. I mean, somebody wrote, and I agree with it 100%. Luthen's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Right. And that's the thing. It's like he does have the long game in mind. And so he looks at it and goes, 30 men plus Kreegyr. I love that. That's repeated twice.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 30 men plus Kreegyr. So it's not just the men. Manpower is something that you can replace. You can find volunteers. You can find recruits. Leaders are something else. So that's why plus Kreegyr. At this point, if you are in the rebellion and you are a leader, the loss of the men is, I hate to say it, really kind of inconsequential. Loss of leaders, that's harder to replace. And that's the true loss here. At the end of the day, it's like, they'll be slaughtered. It's like, it's Kreegyr that you kind of don't want to lose, but you're willing to give him up because the asset he has in ISB is so much more important than this guy, right? And so what I love about this scene is the fact that he plays on Saw and gives it to him in terms that only Saw can understand. He's got to instill upon him that sense of terrifying paranoia where he's going to turn on Tubes, the guy who's been with them for a while, who's still with him, right? That he could like so easily get him to go, holy fuck, have you been working for him? To make a point. And that's the thing that I love. It's like, if we do this, if we do to you, so like now you're all like, who, and you're on to watch everything. If we do that to the Empire, we're never going to get anything done. And I just love the execution of the scene as well. Like these guys are just, it's incredible to watch. And it is really, anybody who says like, oh, this episode was slow or this or that, it's just like, you're looking for action in all the wrong places. There are so many different ways of creating tension and drama and suspense other than having a blaster in your hand and stuff. So
Gary Mark says Luthen didn't have to visit Saw. Right? So I'm thinking he showed up and Saw was like, hey, I'm in. It's not like he prompted him to say, hey, what's going on with Anto Kreegyr? Right? So what was the point of him going there? I think. And then, Gary Mark here says it's a way to transfer the power to Saw with him making the decision to assist Kreegyr or not. You guys agree with that? Because why else did he go there? To see Saw.
Well, again, I think there's a lot of they're trying to do a lot of meetings face to face, so that there is no, they're not having to worry about anyone hacking into their communications or anything like that. So if he just needs to bring up what's happening, it's probably safer for him to just go to him than to try to make a phone call from a payphone somewhere.
Well, I also got the sense that it was Saw Gerrera that wanted to see Luthen to say, I'm in. Luthen, because he was like, things have changed, right? Like that's the thing. Saw goes up and says, tell him I'm in. We're not going to take any tactical orders. We get to loot the fucking garrison. I want all the shit you promised me. So he's basically laying out, these are my terms, but I'm fucking in. And Luthen's like, yeah, no, that's not good. That's not good. So he's not there to convince Saw. He even says in the scene, I didn't want you to make this decision.
Yeah.
It would have been easier if you had stayed out. But now that you want to go in, it gets complicated because I have to tell you why you're not allowed in. And not only that, it's like that's operational security risk right there. He doesn't want to have to spread out more. Like now Saw knows he has somebody in ISB. The more people that know, the more dangerous it is. And so he's kind of forced into this whole issue, and he has to see Saw. I love that. He's got to meet with Saw Gerrera in order, because he's still a valuable asset, right? And that's the thing. It's just like he's put in this uncomfortable position now where I think Luthen needs to overshare, and he doesn't want to, but he has to. But it's also because he sees Saw as a more important asset than Kreegyr. He can lose Kreegyr. He can't lose Saw, right? So,
right. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, Oilers. And then if you look at it from our world, watching these two actors play off of each other.
So good.
In Star Wars.
Again, it's just intense. Again, right? Like this show doesn't give you a break from feeling comfortable.
Not even the robots.
Not even the robots. I thought they were supposed to be comedy relief.
The droids.
The bots. The bots.
Actually. And then this scene ends. I loved it. It's like Saw comes to the conclusion that, you know what? We got to do it for the greater good.
Oh, call it what you
then,
will.
Yeah.
Let's
he kind of throws it back in his face so quickly. Call it what you want.
He deserved it anyway.
But poor Tubes. I wonder what happened to him afterwards.
But and this is a really interesting thing too, because when Saw says, "What if it were me that was leading the attack? Would you let me die?" That's the thrust of it. What was me? What would you do? And as uncomfortable as it is, I think, yeah, he would let him die as well. I think that's the unspoken thing is, I would have to let you, because this source that we have in the ISB is worth more.
But Saw would do the same thing if the positions were swapped. And I think Luthen knows that he would appreciate that. He would be like, all right, you're on your own. But Saw wouldn't just lay down. Saw would be like, okay, we're on our own, but we're gonna find our way out of this. We'll blow shit up until we get out. So I think they understand each other on that level.
Yep.
He's my man. He tells me everything. Like, what?
Yeah. What?
I love that
Tubes
he calls
is so
him
cool.
Tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 tubes.
So yeah, here it is. The Empire, they'll trust nothing if the trap doesn't go off. So just like you're doing right now, like I said, like it sets off Saw to this whole like trust issues thing. On the way back in his ship, he calls Clea. I called her Claire before. That's such a boring Star Wars name. Not a terrible real life name, but Star Wars. Clea.
Clay,
And they're talking. Yeah, it is. I said Claire earlier. Silly. But they're talking over the comms. They're speaking in code, like
Love
the
this
mob.
scene.
They're talking about acquiring, because he's supposed to be an antique dealer. He's like, oh, we need that piece. There's too many buyers on the ground. But they're talking about we have to get Cassian, right?
Right.
We have to get him. We can't let the other interested parties get him.
And that's the thing. I don't think Luthen knows that Clea has put the kill order out on Andor.
No?
I don't think so.
You think she did it to protect
something
him?
she has done. Yeah, she's done it independently. I don't think he knows. This is another reason why he doesn't want Vel. She doesn't want Vel talking to Luthen. Right? It's one of these things. And she's saying, no, let him go, let him go, let him go. I don't think you should be here. And he's like, no, we need this piece. Right? That's the thing. I don't think after all that he has invested in getting Cassian Andor and getting him across, I think he recognizes that there's something more to Andor than meets the eye. And he wants to groom him to to use his particular set of skills.
Mhm.
I think what Cassian Andor offers is something very, very unique, and he recognizes that. But Clea is like, he's a risk. We need to get rid of him. You need to cut him loose. And I think that's a whole. And then it gets into the whole, well, who's in charge here? Is she in charge or is he in charge?
I feel
Are
like
they
they're
equals?
same level.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point where we discussed, like, I thought she was the one actually in charge, and that, like, Luthen was the beard, right? So it's like, you know, so if anything ever goes to pot and the Imperials come in and they grab him, they'll go, oh, well, you were just like the help. We got the guy we want, type thing.
Right.
And he'd be the fall guy. She would be the one running off scot-free. But I mean, she puts the kill order out. Find out. That's why Cinta is on Ferrix.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for Andor to kill him, but he doesn't know that. I don't think Luthen knows.
You don't think so? Well,
That's my gut.
that'd be cool.
That's my gut. He doesn't know. And that's why she realizes he's going to Ferrix. He wants to go and find Andor. And she's like, I think you should come back. It's too crowded. Come back home where it's safe. You know, there's too many. And that's her subtext is come back. He's like, no, I need to go get this piece. I need to get Andor. And she's like, no. That's awkward, you know. So,
well, speaking of bad reception on intergalactic phone calls in Star Wars, this one, the moment it happened, I'm like, oh shit, he's getting jammed.
Yeah.
And
Communication disruption can only mean one thing.
yeah.
Yep.
Da-da-dum.
This is cool.
What a shot.
What a
shot of
Easter egg. Homage. Sorry, not an Easter egg. It's an homage. Beautiful.
There's Luthen's ship. This tiny little
the Fondor.
bug there. The Fondor is awesome.
Yes.
And this Imperial. Paul, do you know what the ship is called?
It's a Cantwell class, which was named after. So, for those of you who don't know, here's a deep cut. This is lovely what they've done. The original version of a Star Destroyer was based on this, and the designer's name was Cantwell. And so, for them to call this the Cantwell class, not the Interceptor, Arrestor, was a great, lovely tip of the hat to the to one of the original designers. So this was an early prototypical design of a Star Destroyer way back in the 70s, and you actually saw some of these. Like this isn't the first appearance of it, a canonical appearance of it. It did make an appearance, I think, in Rogue One, like way in the background, and in one of the animated series too, if I remember. Cantwell class Arrestor Cruiser. There you go. My nerd Mike.
That's a great name, by the way. The Arrestor Cruiser is.
I'm an arrestor.
I'm an arrestor. I arrest people. I think that's. I don't know. I think it's cool, and I just think its whole purpose is cool. This is great. This whole scene is great.
Are those dishes all tractor beams?
Yes.
Because we see, it pulls over Luthen, like they're on the shoulder on the highway. But he tells them, this is a piracy area. A lot of pirates here smuggling things. Luthen has to find a ship ID from Alderaan, from his little the droid thing, which is awesome.
Oh, there's an Easter egg in his transponder code too from Alderaan.
Oh, the numbers? What is it?
The numbers. It's the date of the original premiere of Star Wars.
Oh,
no way.
May 25th, 1977. So.
Nice.
Clever.
That's actually the code to my safe too.
Well, now we know. Hey, everybody. Hey, why don't you give us your address there, just for shits and giggles, there, Kevin? And
why would I have a safe?
Why would I?
No, I do that joke all the time, but it's too many numbers.
Android phone lock-in.
No, when we were at Disney and the cashier gave me change, And he's like, here's your change, 1283. I'm like, hey, that's my pin. And like it always gets a laugh from somebody after they realize what I just said and how
Right.
absurd it is. And I always try to see what reaction that gets. But it was too many numbers to be a pin. All right, here we go. So the Arrestor ship, they check the code and it's cleared, but the captain is like, oh, we could use some practice. So they have Luthen in the tractor beam, and he's powering up. He's putting on a show for them too, which I loved. And he's like, oh, I'm just a one-man show over here. It's taking me a while.
Yeah, I got to take this stuff out of my glove box.
Yeah. Just gonna reach over, officer. But I love the part they have him in the tractor beam, and he turns on the engines a little bit, gives it a little go. He knows he's not gonna get out of it, but he knows
The decoy burn.
that the Empire is gonna be like, well, this guy's trying to leave. Let's crank it up, the tractor beam, another level. Once they do that, he shoots those little shrapnels or whatever it is, and just slices up that dish.
Yeah, cuts it right up.
How awesome was that?
So cool. That this was the James Bond moment.
He is a spy. He is James Bond, right? So Oil slick was the next button next to that.
Correct. Yeah, parachute. Yeah, parachute was the next one. It's this was the James Bond shit that I love about this ship. And he knew exactly what was going to happen and exactly what to do, and he played it cool and calm, just like James Bond. And especially when and I love it. Again, it's where the Empire is new and cocky, so their pants are caught down around their ankles because they're just sitting there going like, "Oh, we just need the practice. We'll arrest him anyways, even though everything is clear and good to go." And the moment he trashes that dish, he goes, "Where's the airstrike team?" And then you get the shots, the sounds of, man, TIE fighters are amazing in this series as well, by the way. Anytime I hear that screeching, it's just like, this is already so cool. And just everything he did. But I'll let Paul go because I know he's dying to say something.
No. What was brilliant is he was one step ahead of everybody in this. Like he knew the Imperial procedure down by heart, knew exactly what to do, played it absolutely because he was not worried one bit. No. And what I love is how everything was played out in this in terms of procedural, it just right down to when the air wing finally launches, it looked like a TIE bomber. That wasn't a TIE bomber that went out there. That was an Imperial boarding craft. That was like troop transport. And you see little instances of that ship being used in other ships, like Rogue One that had it look like a TIE bomber. They don't send a TIE bomber out. That's a boarding party. And they said, earlier on, let's get a boarding party. We'll need the practice. What I also loved is how British the Empire is. You could have swapped out that Cantwell class with a fucking tall sail ship, and they could have had the backwards fucking hats and it would have been exactly the same. Fly the colors. Here we go. No, let's hold them anyway. Like the arrogance of the British Navy. Exactly.
Fly the colors, my God.
And that's what it fucking felt like, which is what I loved about this whole thing, is the fact that they're by the book and so arrogant. And he knew exactly what flight path to take, which ships to take out first, how to do, he swooped on. He was never in any danger whatsoever. He knew exactly what flight path they were going to take. And he took the exact course to fuck them up royally.
He took like two shots. And he was
boom, 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 whips around, jumps into hyperspace. And you can see that the commander of the vessel, such shit. Like, we did everything by the book, and we got screwed because of it.
And by a small ship,
I thought,
right? Yeah, and the way he had the two beams, the two lasers that came out, and he spins.
And that's the thing. He knew exactly what the formation was when they're trying to bracket him. He knew exactly what they were going to do because they're so indoctrinated, which means he has a lot of experience with Imperial procedures. Right? Like, this isn't something that you read theoretically and then, oh my God, this is what he's practiced in this. He knows what they're going to do before they know what they're going to do. And that's why he's able to get the countermeasures properly, able to plan his flight path. Everything was designed to circumnavigate or to counter every move that they were going to make.
or he saw
Imperials
it
never
in a
stood a
Force
chance.
vision.
Yeah, they never stood a chance. So I thought it was great.
And I loved it.
was
Yep,
great.
I loved every moment of it.
And now you
It was-
know where all of Mon Mothma's money was going towards. It wasn't to hire it was to fucking pimp out his ship. Because all that stuff's not cheap, man.
And as soon as that ship comes out in the Micro Squadron Galaxy Collection,
oh man,
oh my god, make it a HasLab.
make it
dude. But like, what about the suspense though in this scene?
Yeah.
Because once that radio cut and they showed the ship behind him, I'm like, oh shit, is this how he goes down? Like, not now, like not like this. And then building the timer or the gauge here, getting everything.
The
it's
moment
like
you
the
add a
suspense
timer to anything, your adrenaline goes.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well have, if all he needed was like a fine lady next to him, a vodka martini, and then like a countdown clock that stops at like 007, and it's a James Bond movie.
I only wish that they hadn't used footage from this in the trailer, the previews, because you knew like right from the get-go, the first episode, the first trailer for Andor, they showed the Fonder with the double lasers, blowing up the like. I just that was the thing. I really wish.
Oh, they did.
Oh yeah, it was in all the preview trailers. Yeah, and it was like, fuck. So what I saw was like, oh yeah, this is a part. I mean, it was exciting because we'll get to see the double lasers. But at the end, I was like, I really wish it hadn't used any of this stuff, and for me to just see it fresh and kind of go, oh crap, because that would have been amazing. But I knew he was going to get out of it because they showed it in the previews.
Ryan, you don't remember that? I don't remember that from the previews.
I don't remember that in the trailer at all, to be honest. There's a few things I remember from the trailer, and that's definitely not one that sticks out.
The double lasers that went out for sure. That was one of the big things. It was like, oh, that's an interesting move.
Really? I didn't see it either.
I will now fully admit that trailers do not spoil things because clearly for Kevin and I, we have memories of goldfish when it comes to watching trailers.
Didn't see it on my phone.
Yeah. I do like this countdown though, because it reminds me of Tarkin watching them line up the Death Star to Yavin 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazingly analog looking.
Yeah,
like that timer to have that those the like how everybody's got like data pads that are gigantic or switches like click. Like I love how they make this fit almost seamlessly into A New Hope. That just that tech is there. It's not like a question of jumping from like the original series Star Trek to Next Generation where it's all like. When they have to go, when you modernize something, like, oh, everything's all touchscreen all of a sudden. Whereas back in the day, big ass buttons and switches, right? Like they've been able to integrate a lot of that into that tech design aesthetic. The carryover has been great.
Consistently, they've been doing that consistently.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right. Oh, we have this blowing up. That's awesome.
So good.
Yeah, there it is.
That's straight from the trailer, man.
No,
must have missed it. But I mean, this is a classic Jedi move. Let's try spinning.
That's that's a good trick.
He wasn't a Jedi.
No,
he wasn't a Jedi. Not at that point. Not even a Padawan. He wasn't even a Padawan.
But he uses it. And he's going to teach everyone at the academy.
Yep, he did teach everyone at the academy.
Just like he wasn't a master.
Oh, come on. Why do you got to bring this up, man? Why you got to do this?
You got to see it on the council, but they did not from the rank of master. It was an outrage.
Okay, when we're done here, Kevin, I got to tell you what this guy up here enabled me. He gets more enabler points. We went toy shopping in Toronto. Speaking of seat at the council.
My job is done.
Dang it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the look on his face. I love with the reflection.
That's Joffrey from Game of Thrones, I think.
Is the actual actor? No.
No, just generic British guys.
British men. But I seriously change that Imperial cap out with one of the old style British hats. Like this is a British Navy ship.
Mhm.
I mean, I joke that Andor is takes place on planet Britain because everyone's got a British accent, right? Even the aliens like Orbidor, matey, right? You're like, holy fuck. Even the aliens are British. But yeah.
That Jack Sparrow was a hell of a pirate.
Right? I kind of expected that. All right, Commodore. Here we go.
Like the remains, the smoky remains of those ships here.
ties.
And a reflection
yeah.
as well.
I love that. Everything about this scene, just like when people were saying it, like in past episodes, I had and myself included, was saying this is Star Wars. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. And if you're watching this scene and it doesn't feel like Star Wars to you, then I don't think you know what Star Wars is, because this to me felt like the most Star Wars the show has been so far.
Paul, from what I read on the internet, was that they heard people complaining about there weren't enough space battles, so they threw this scene in just for this.
Oh,
no, I made it up. I did not read that.
Fuck's sake. All right, I'm sorry. I fell for that one. I'm a bit in my cups, but I mean, like, you know how I feel about. I love this show, and I love the fact that the show, and I'll say it again, it's a different kind of storytelling. And the Star Wars universe is big enough to have all kinds of types of storytelling, from animated shows to live action shows, for deeper sort of. You can have this breadth of storytelling. And for people who think Star Wars should only be one way, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is...
You want me to say it? I'll say it. I have no filter.
Say it.
He's like, I'm never coming back here again.
No, I said it last week. I said they can go fuck themselves. Like, honestly, it is this thing where it's just like, holy shit. If you don't like it, then don't fucking watch it. Like, honestly.
Yep.
And simple. I must say, repeat from last week, the views of Paulson and Lee do not represent those of this channel.
Coward.
No, I'm kidding.
fucking coward. There you go. But I just honestly, it's such, what I love is this is different. It's in the universe. It's got intrigue, fantastic writing, acting. We're not being led by the hand all around. You kind of have to think for this. And this is not a slight at all towards any of the other shows that are out there. I love The Mandalorian. I loved, elements of Book of Boba Fett. I love Clone Wars. I love The Bad Batch, Rebels. Like there's a lot of storytelling out there that I love. It's not a slight against any of that. I love this show because it is different, because it is a little bit more sophisticated and doesn't treat us like we need to be led around by the hand, right? It is something that is in line with Rogue One, which I enjoyed. It really does bring into light the complexity, how complex the Star Wars universe can be, right? Rogue One was the first inkling of, the Rebel Alliance wasn't all one big happy family. They were all scared. There were all these different factions, and they had to band together through necessity to pool the resources to fight the Empire. But it wasn't all wine and roses. They did. And again, it's Luthen. It's like, it's not black and white. You know, there's this whole, like, one of the reasons why he's damned, and what I love that they explore, is he's had to sacrifice his own morals, his morality, his soul, to fight against something on behalf of people who are unwilling to do that. That's the big thing. There are people who are like, oh no, well, we can fight them, but like not be dirty like them. It's like, you're not going to win. I hate to say it. You're not going to win. So I love that. I love that they do explore these themes that the other shows don't need to explore. And it's fine to have, your group of heroes on this adventure, and you can worry about them, but it is on one level an adventure story versus something that's a little bit more political. It's like Battlestar Galactica, the 1970s versions versus the 2004 version. Same franchise, but they took themes that were way more sophisticated in the 2004 version, and really they ran with it in that direction. And I think it was a fantastic show. It was a genre show, but they explored some really great themes. And that's not a knock against the 1978 Battlestar Galactica, which I loved as well. They were just different shows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about
Shut up,
Battlestar
Kevin.
Galactica.
What, really? You've never even watched the 2004 Battlestar?
Nope.
Homework assignment.
No.
Homework. Homework. Homework.
No homework.
Dude, I think
Maybe
you
in
would
the
love
Boba Squadron off season.
it. Yeah.
All right. Another cool little Easter egg here in this episode. Back on Ferrix, Andor makes a call, and you see on the computer here the ship. I noticed this right away because the shape of the ship is so unique, and I've photographed it so many times. I've only been to Disney twice, but I took a lot of photos of the ship.
Yeah. That's one that's got the dates of the original trilogy on the crates.
On the crates. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
share.
Oh.
Chrome tab.
Well, I guess, yeah, you took so many
This
photos,
one?
you might as well share one of them.
Is it showing? No.
Not yet.
No.
Here. That's the ship in
Batu.
Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, it's cool. It's like high up on a ledge somewhere, but it's not really interactive or any part of it.
So it's just a decoration?
It's environment building is what it's doing.
It is. It's really cool though.
It is cool. Like, yeah, it sounds like we're downplaying it, but it's one of the coolest props you know in the land by far. It's so cool.
And they also have, well, okay, and we're going to talk about this. They had the quad jumper at the very beginning of this episode. The quad jumper, of course, episode
7. Yep.
Force Awakens. It's like, let's go. What, for that? No, that ship is junk. We're going to go for that ship, and it's the quad jumper. It gets blown up. Garbage will do fine, and they head towards the Falcon. So this is two sort of sequel
Easter eggs.
Sequel Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, I guess it would tie into the correct. Yeah.
Right.
Here we thought Disney forgot about the sequels.
Well, here's the other thing, because Tony Gilroy is saying there are no Easter eggs. We don't do this. This is the art department. Let's give the art department huge props on this show, because they were able to smuggle in all these things that Tony Gilroy, who's admittedly not a Star Wars fan, and that's why I'm saying there's no Easter eggs, none of these superfluous cameos, but there were, and it's the art department sneaking it in from all the stuff in Luthen's shop to these background displays in Pax's. Is it Pax? What's the guy's name? He's in the transport office, the communications hub.
Oh yeah,
they're everywhere, and that's the lovely thing too. The art department, filled with nerds, God love them, we're able to get all that stuff in there. So,
yep, and it works too.
True.
Like they're not heavy-handed Easter eggs.
No.
Now that you mentioned that scene, how do you feel about that? It's like, oh, let's go to that ship. No, it got blown up. Let's go to this one, and it's the Millennium Falcon. I remember at the time I was like, "Oh shit, it's the Falcon." But then now I'm just like, "No, I don't know if I like that."
Yeah,
really?
Corny.
It's so
I don't know if I feel the same way. I love the Falcon, but like how it's like, "Hey fans, remember this?"
No, but I always I still like it.
That, I feel.
I still like it just because what's the first thing Luke says when he sees the Millennium Falcon in New Hope? What a piece of junk!
Yeah,
You came here in that thing. You're braver than I thought.
It's always been a piece of garbage. So I kind of love the fact that and like the ship's got to be like 50 years old by this point too, right? So
yeah,
it makes sense that the Falcon's a piece of garbage, right?
Do you know what the most heavy-handed Episode 7 Easter egg is? It's when Finn is digging around in the Falcon, and he brings out the orb and he shows it to you in the audience, like, ho, remember this?
What's this? Yeah, it's not so subtle.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my biggest gripe. But I actually don't.
That's
I don't
fair.
mind. There we go. Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Oh,
Jumped
the end of
ahead.
Rogue One.
Oh,
But the yeah,
spoilers.
he calls spoil. Wait, what happens in Rogue One? Nothing happens to Cassian. Love that
He looks
guy.
at this. He looks at the bright sun rising in the horizon.
I can't wait
over
for
the ocean.
Rogue One 2.
Son
Rogue
of
2.
Rogue.
Rogue
Rogue
Son of Rogue.
Rogue 2, Son of Rogue.
Andor
Uh,
escapes.
Okay. So he calls and he's like, "Leave him. Let Marva know I'm good." And this is the guy to break it to Cassian. Like, oh, she's dead. And I remember when he first went to jail. That episode, I'm like, oh my god, what if Marva dies while he's in jail? And it's actually happened. And a lot of people saw the parallels of this shot after he finds out that she's dead. He gives Melshi the extra blaster. He says, we're going to split up. We got to tell everyone about what's happening in these prisons. We'll have a better chance if we split up. And he looks off into the horizon, which is like when he's with Jin in spoilers, Rogue One. Don't wait for Rogue 2 right before the planet blows up. So leading into, look at that face.
Man, that's defeat. That is defeation. Defeated?
Defeation?
Defeation? Wait, that's not a word.
No, it's not. I'm very impressed that you came up with defeation. What is that? What
It's a
is
vibe.
defeation? All right.
I think again, it's symbolic of it's a death of Andor in a way, right? End of Rogue One is his literal death, right? It's like like he's reached the end of that cycle, and here I think he's reached the end of another cycle because it's the whole idea of like Marva's dead, the last sort of tie to his childhood. Anytime I think your parent dies, that's the end of something within you as well. That's the closing of a chapter, right? It's just like it forces you to be transformed in this. It's transformative, and so it's interesting too because much like Kino Loy was kind of a microcosm of like the entire galaxy in terms of dealing with the Empire. It's the whole we just have to put our heads down and get through it, and we'll all survive as long as we play by the rules and this and that, and realizing that no, none of us are getting out and having to make that stand and rebel against it, and then coming to the end realization of like, fuck, I can't swim. Like, what do you do? There's a lot of these themes that are recurring in Andor, which I love, and again, I think speaks to the sophistication of the writing and the storytelling. But it marks, I think, the end of a chapter of Andor's life. But it's the whole, like Melshi says it. It's like we have to let people know what's going on. Like some people need to know about this, and I think this is kind of the turning point. We talked about Nemik's, his manifesto, perhaps converting Andor, this, that. But I think really the trigger event is going to be Marva's death and the aftermath that follows from it. Because he's going back to Ferrix.
Yeah.
It. It is inevitable. And so this is marking the beginning of a new phase. And this is like the turning point for him to taking part in active rebellion. So, yeah.
All right. So we know the Empire's waiting for Cassian on Ferrix. Luthen is waiting. Syril is going to be there. He's taking the bus over. Everyone's going to be there. What do you predict? Do you have any theories or something playing out in your head? What's going to happen on the finale? Or you're just going to let the episode come out and just see how it goes?
I honestly, I know there's going to be some big blowout back in the old hometown. I'm also just as invested in Mon Mothma and what's going to happen with her at the end, because I still feel like we're not close to what's going to end up happening to her. I feel like there's still more story there before things go to hell for her. So they've never said they're doing a season 2 of this, correct?
Oh no, they're shooting it. It's already been confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I feel okay,
initially.
Okay.
But initially, sorry, just background. Initially, there were supposed to be like 5 seasons, and each season would be 1 year leading up to the events of Rogue One. And like the final season, the final episode was supposed to be like lead right into the beginning of Rogue One. They've
5
since
seasons and a
realized that this is insane. They can't do this because they're all going to be too old. So season 2 is actually, from what I've heard, I think if I remember this correctly, you nerds in the comments, let me know if I'm right or not. Each 3-episode arc of season 2 is supposed to be 1 year, supposed to take place. So you're going to get the remaining 4 years summed up in season 2.
Okay.
So there's going to be big time jumps.
Second and last season, then.
That's what I hear.
All right.
So here's my big question too. I'm curious, Paul. You guys might know this. I really don't. But I did see the rumor of this last episode being super long.
I heard it's only 54 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
54 minutes.
Which means, like, with the credits and stuff, it'll be like more like 48 minutes.
40 minutes.
Right.
The credits in every language.
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm super curious. Yeah, go ahead.
Lassie says, I predict Cassian gets caught by the Empire and Luthen takes him out to avoid selling. Damn it, why did I read that? Euler says, did you see Thor Skywalker's breakdown of how this can tie into Rebels? Because Mon Mothma publicly calls out the Emperor in Rebels. No, I didn't see that breakdown, but I remember she was in some episodes of the Rebels. I guess she kind of does in this series. Does she call it the Emperor directly?
No, she calls it the Empire.
Yeah.
Only the one dude from whatever ISB, he does. In an earlier episode where he's like, yo, if you got a problem with this, talk to the Emperor, because I don't want to hear it. Sick of your shit. I think that's line for line.
Basically what he said.
Yeah.
Yo, you got a problem with this. Take it up to the guy with the small lightsaber.
Yeah.
The small hands upstairs.
Small hilt.
Yeah.
You can't measure a Sith by his hilt.
I don't know. Do you think something? I don't know. Something's got to happen with Syril. I feel like we've been following his story for so long, and it can't just be his. If it's his redemption story, like what could he possibly do?
Save Andor.
So, save Andor, the guy who kind of ruined his whole life, though.
His
that would
life
be wild.
Okay, sorry. His life was ruined the moment his mother was in this. So he didn't have a chance. And I think this would be a good way for him to step up against his mother, would be by joining the rebellion.
Maybe he's like, I need to take this guy with me to corroborate my story that he was the one who blew up Ferrix and not me. But that wouldn't save him from the Empire. So yeah, I don't know. He's just so recurring in the series that I don't know. Something's got to involve him, especially because we know he's going back to the planet. He's going to be there,
right? And same with and the blonde too. Sorry, what's her name?
Vel.
Yeah, Vel's she's such a great villain, and I look forward to see what's going to happen to her at the end as well. I don't think she's going to die here.
Wait. You mean Deidre, like the ISB?
Oh, Deidre, the ISB.
Oh, sorry, ISB, yes. Yeah, I don't know where she's going to fit into all this either, because clearly she's going to be there, but I think she's a really cool villain, and I really hope to see her in season 2. So I really hope they don't kill her off.
Yoko had a theory, some sort of conspiracy theory, that because we didn't see Marva die on screen, that there's something else happening. And I think Tommy mentioned it earlier too. And remember, she was talking about some old tunnels before connecting to the hotel building.
Correct.
I don't know. It's possible. Maybe
you don't
it's
think
just
she
a
got
red herring. I sent the group chat a picture of my wall in the kitchen. And Ernie was like, too soon.
I think, honestly, I think that's too much of a stretch. The whole, because they have her body, they have the daughters of Ferrix come in, B2 is really upset. Brasso is there. I mean, to what end, really? For her to fake her death? To what end? Right? Yes. There she is.
Marva action figure coming soon.
Aslabbit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's just it would be a little bit too hokey for like, oh, we faked your death in the like to what that's the thing I don't understand is to what end?
Yeah.
To
Why
what
her?
end? Right? Like why would she fake her death?
Oh,
What
Tommy
would-
said it was to draw out Luthen had her fake her death to see what the Empire's hand was, like how they would capture.
There's such unnecessary risk in all of that. It seems preposterous in a show that has been so grounded in realism, in terms of stakes, in terms of how things play out, in terms of like it just seems a bit too much of a stretch. And I would be like, I don't know, it just seems really out of character for them to do that.
To have that type of swerve.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it's gimmicky. It's gimmicky, and the show's not gimmicky. If anything, I would not call the show gimmicky, and I would be a little bit like, oh wow, okay, that took a turn for the weird. Like
Cassian's he's about to be arrested by some Imperials, and who comes to rescue him? Pew pew! 2 blaster shots. It's Marva back from the dead.
It just feels cheap. It's just like Cassian getting imprisoned. Like he makes it clear he's on Niamos. And he gets fucking arrested for just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Because of
the Empire never decided to check their own recordings of prisoners to see if they actually already had them. That's what I find funny too.
But that's the thing. It's the unwieldy nature of the beast. They're like arresting so many people. And the bureaucracy is so much like, I believe all that stuff, right? So, chain codes aren't quite in effect yet. All these different things. They haven't really been implemented. And so I think it would be fairly simple for somebody to get through. Yes, okay. But I think she's dead. I think there's a whole point. It's very like Greek tragedy when a hero dies off stage. The big deaths occur sort of off stage and stuff, right? So I think there is something to it that Marva's story in terms of her being alive, it's the catalyst for Andor to come back and create this situation has been set. We didn't need to see Marva on her deathbed. Who's she going to talk to? What's she going to say that is more poignant than this last scene she had with Andor?
For sure.
They have it in the recap. It's like, I can't stay and I can't go and you can't stay. It's like, but I'm going to miss you. I'm going to worry about you. It's just, that's love. That is such a poignant ending. Why would you try to recreate or make it cheaper with her talking to somebody else about how she misses Cassian? You don't need that. It's unnecessary. Trim that fat from the storytelling.
Yep.
So I think she's dead. Her death serves a purpose.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
going to be like a huge, you've seen the previews, civil unrest. There's going to be, it's a flashpoint. Syril is going to come in and fuck it up somehow for both sides. I think he's an equal opportunist. He's going to fuck up both sides somehow. But we know that, Cassian, he makes it out somehow. Right. So it's one of these things where I know, and this is something I want to bring up with you, Kevin, some reviewers have already gotten copies of the final episode. I've seen like non-spoilery. There's no embargo on it apparently, but like media reviewers have been given the final episode to sort of write reviews on, and I've seen it on YouTube. I'm like, oh my god, how come we don't have one, Kevin? Like, are we an accredited media source? We do recaps. What's going on, bud? We should be getting this.
He's Canadian.
I think it's Ernie. I think Ernie is the problem.
God damn it. Told you we should have cut him.
He's the Syril of Boba Squadron.
He's the Syril.
Syril's gonna show up with a blaster pointing at Cassian, and then like the energy cells are gonna fall out from the bottom when he's about to pull the trigger.
I'll be the mom.
Yeah, I'll be the
but Paul, you're very correct. Like Marva's death serves a purpose. Like if Cassian feels like, the Empire wrongly put me in jail, it's supposed to be a 6-year sentence, and my mom dies in that time, like that's a great reason to push him for like deeper into the rebellion's cause and fight that, the tyranny of the Empire against these people and himself included. So that's that is a death that serves its purpose.
And here's the thing: Cassian has no idea the Empire's hunting him.
Yeah, that too.
Like specifically, he's been in jail the whole time, right? Like he's been, just sort of like floating around, and for him, he has no idea that people want him dead. The Empire wants him. Mel wants him dead. So, night, Mel.
I'm gonna wave like this with my hands in frame. Hello. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Toodaloo.
Hello.
Ta-ta. What was the thing that the captain says, Paul? Ready the banners or something?
Ready
The
the
pirate-
rails?
Run up the colors.
Yes.
Run up the yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking
Run
of
up the
Game of
colours.
Thrones. Called the
Whoopsies.
Bannerman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fly the
Oh,
colors.
cheerio. Beautiful.
Commodore Norrington. Quick.
Quick. Oh, get up in the morning, eat my piss and shit, or whatever it is they say.
Tommy says Karn screws it up, but he's still gonna try and hook up with Dedra.
Yeah. He's
So I
going
know
to.
I know I
Here's the-
sprung the trap too early.
I don't think he's like, I don't think he's into her in that way. I think he loves that she listens to him, but he sees her more as a way of advancing himself. He wants to join the ISB. He says, "I'm a good investigator. I can help you." I don't think he's following her because he's got the hots for her. I think he's following her because he thinks he can prove himself into a valuable asset so he can join the ISB. Honestly, that's the thing. I don't think
And prove
he's
to his
attracted
mother.
to her in that way. Yeah, I think he's just like, I follow you because he sees her as the only way of getting into the ISB. As naive and as like stupid as that sounds, that's the feeling. It comes across as creepy, like he's stalking her for his own gratification. And on one level, he kind of is, but I think really at the end of the day, he wants to be validated. He wants to show what a great investigator he is, and he wants that power. He wants power. I don't think he wants a relationship. I think he wants power.
He's kind of like Dark Buster
Why not
from
both?
Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah,
Buster.
I can buy that.
Darkbuster. Captain Jack says, I was wondering if Luthen actually set up Cassian to go to jail. Oh, and
No, I don't
In
think
that
he
jail?
did.
Yeah, I
on
don't
that
think
planet?
so.
No.
That
Could
was
be.
so random.
I think
That
he
was
was
just
bad
know where
timing.
he, yeah, he'd have to
Rock
know
takes
where he
long
was
time.
going. He'd have to set all. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
I think it
But-
gives, and I think it gives Luthen too much power in that sense too, right? For him to sort of go and say, "Hey, there's a guy that's going to be there. His name is what? Grief? What's his name? Grief?
Grief Karga. No, Keef.
Keith,
Every time they call him Keef in the jail, I was like,
right?
it's too close to
Yeah.
Grief.
Well, there's another word for Keith. But it's too much. It's too much. They don't know where he is, but for him to set that up is just that. In my mind, it doesn't make sense. So I don't think he did set up. I think it's just the wrong place, the wrong time. Just shitty luck.
Yep. Karma.
I like where we are now. Looking back on that scene, it's like they put those droids there just to throw everyone off. Like, oh,
They
here we
did.
go. Here comes K2. It's like,
I
nope.
know.
Not yet.
I
Psych.
100%, yeah, I 100% fell for that too. But
They're like, you thought.
great
and-
twist though, and I even love that
Yeah.
episode too when they're sentencing people, and then as that woman gets the news, she's like, "Oh, we do stricter sentences now. Oh, 3 years? Sorry, 12. Bang!" Right?
6 months, 6 years.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. But
Right.
I mean,
Love
this
it.
is all building up to what I hope to be. I don't want to overhype it in my own head, right? But just how great the season has been going, and
Mhm.
seeing all of these threads coming together for the final episode. I'm extremely excited for this Wednesday.
Yep.
And it's been awesome talking with you guys and everyone in the chat. Is there anything else for this episode? We got all of Yoko's theories. Luthen might be a Jedi. Ernie is costing us media accreditations. Yeah, we covered that.
How many likes do we have on this live stream?
Yeah, how many likes do we have? If you are watching, you haven't hit this like button yet, please smash it down quickly because you know what? You're already here. You're already watching. You might as well hit the like button. If you like what you saw here tonight and you want to see more, hit that notification bell so that you know the next time that Kevin goes live. Doesn't even matter if it's on a Saturday night. He could be going live on Thursday night. So don't be afraid to hit that notification bell so that you know never ever miss a live feed, because that's where the action is. That's when the fun happens. And then you don't ever know. You might say something like me where I have to then apologize and say I double down and I'm a dipshit. So you never know what you're going to get on these streams. And so don't forget to like it. And honestly, if you were watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? So please hit that subscribe button. And while you're hitting the subscribe button on him, go see Paul's channel. Bitter Asian dude. He does fun boxings on Sundays occasionally. He'll do more after he's moved. Once he's done that, he'll have his fun boxings. He's going to have so much to fun box. So make sure you get that notification bell so you know exactly when he comes back online. And as well, if you want to hang out with me on Tuesdays, who knows, you might not want to after tonight. Come find me at Toy Anxiety on Tuesdays. So there, I think that covers the plugs.
Don't forget about Gotham tonight.
Gotham City tonight. Also,
City tonight.
we do that on Wednesday nights. New comic book day. We do that.
Even Thursday nights. Don't forget to catch Ryan on his own private OnlyFans channel where he shows pictures of his toes and brushes his beard. Friday night, Ryan is also I think you're live streaming. He's a guest on some other podcast somewhere else. Ryan is one of the most prolific and hardworking guests. As you can tell from his energy level that he brings every time. This is why I love him. He brings so much fun, so much joy. He's great at plugging for asking for likes and getting you to smash that like button. He knows what it is. He's a true fan, true collector, a comic book aficionado. The guy knows his stuff, and he's a dear friend of mine. I'm so happy to be able to do the stream with him on my other friend's channel. So thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight, because this is great. And you know what? We missed Yoko. We missed Ernie. But I think honestly, Ryan, you did a fantastic job stepping in, filling their shoes. Big shoes to fill. 4 sets of shoes to fill.
I did not fill Yoko's shoes. I'm not going to admit to that. I'm already so deep with her that I cannot.
Hey, man, you're the one that put the X on her face. What can I say?
It was okay. Listen. I was trying to
defend that.
Look, I was trying to do one of those things like on the Days Future Past X-Men covers where it was like, X.
Yeah, you're saying they're dead. They're dead. That's why there's an X on them. That was the worst reference you could have used. The worst.
My heart was
they
in
were
the right
literally
place.
Mutants that are dead.
Yeah. But I also love the X-Men, so I was also trying to be endearing, but it's okay. You know what? I'll take the heat. If I have to shake her hand and get judged as a punishment, then so be it. I'm not scared of shaking her hand. So
trial by fire, my friend.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it.
It's way more stressful than you think. You all joke about it but then that moment comes where you're going to do it, and it's like, oh my God, am I ready?
Well, yeah, because your I can imagine that. Right? You get you get all amped up, so your palms get a little sweaty. Mom spaghetti, right? Yeah. Like what are you gonna do, right? Like
I'm just waiting for one.
Remember,
honestly, I'm waiting for one day some dude just gets overamped and like breaks her hand by shaking it too hard.
Oh,
crunch, and she's gonna go and then wow, that'll just be like
No,
She'll
we
show
can't.
She'll
that
be like,
story.
nice
Show
to
that big
meet you.
cast.
Nice.
Or like,
But no,
better
I
than
did mean
John
it with love.
Bernthal.
And I do want to do one of these again sometime with Yoko here. So if you need, if I'm going to say this, I'm going to do a pitch here. If Ernie does not show up for the Tales of the Jedi episode, I want to step in.
Nice. He's throwing his hat in the ring. There we go.
Yep, that's it. I'm not asking
Trial
to
by-
replace him full time. I'm just saying I just
Trial
want to
by
step
combat. There you go. Trial by combat.
in. I can
400 Quatlus on the newcomer.
Yeah. I'm going to wear exactly what Padme wore in the Geonosis arena.
In the what?
The
The
Geonosis
Geonosis arena. That white outfit with the...
Missing the ab portion strategically.
That's when one of Yoko's cats jumps in and scratches my back and tears it. Into the
My gosh. Perfect timing. Yes, Ryan, thank you for that brilliant plug for everyone. I'm definitely clipping that and using that for all future promos on my channel. I don't have to do it I'll just play it in the beginning. I'll play my queuing up music, and then I'll just play Ryan shouting at everyone, and it'll be perfect. But hey, had a lot of fun hanging out with you. Again, like Paul said, your energy is unmatched. And it was a lot of fun, and I hope everyone in the chat enjoyed that too. Thank you for stepping in, trying to kill Ernie and Yoko and take their spots as apparently hunted mutants. You just called them mutants, basically. It's kind of rude.
I love mutants, though.
You do. Yes, so make sure go check out Ryan and all the fantastic content he puts out. Paul, you're not streaming this week.
Hey, man. You know what? I'm not streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow's the final day, the push before the big move on the Monday. I am so sick of packing. I'm really excited about getting into the new place. The plan is not this Sunday, but next Sunday. I've got a backlog of toys I need to unbox. I need to unwind. I'm gonna do my best to get Funboxing Sunday up. And hey, you know what? We might even have a moving in special where we do get a giveaway happening there. I got a plethora of hot toys and some other great prizes there. So tune in. This is
I have a
plea
mailing
for...
address if you need to get rid of them.
Yeah, I could just drive downtown.
Yeah, sure. That sounds great, guys. I'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. But yeah, so not this Sunday, but hopefully next Sunday we'll get an episode of Funboxing Sundays in again. I miss interacting with all y'all. Had a lot of fun today. Always have a lot of fun. Yeah, may the force be with us all, because fuck, I'm gonna need it on Monday.
Well, at least you'll have relief by way of the season finale on Wednesday. You'll have something to look forward to after the move. And yeah, this was a lot of fun tonight. Everyone, if you want to see more of Paul, I have on the channel here. Oh, look, a much better expression for you here on this still. Paul and I went toy hunting in a Toys R Us near us, and joked around, had some fun, bought some toys. And if you haven't seen this yet, or if you miss Paul so much, please go give this a watch or rewatch. And I don't want to play too much. There's some.
These are
really
so
ridiculous...
well made. Can I just tell you that right now, Kevin? These hunting around videos are so freaking well made that it's just like, it's like I'm watching TV with a budget.
That's my goal, like to make it look like
so
a
I
show.
don't understand. Well, clearly Toys R Us
I don't
is giving you
understand.
the platform, but I'm really happy they are, because you are doing like, and God, this is so good. I want you to come film at my local Toys R Us so they stock the goddamn shelves. Because your shelves always look so stocked. I'm like, yeah, they know he's filming here today. They can't make it look dead ass like out here, like on Broadway in Vancouver. So I just want to just give you props for that. That this is like watching TV. Not to say anything wrong with YouTube, but it doesn't feel like I'm watching YouTube when I watch your videos, Kevin. I think these are so well produced. and
Thank you.
wonderful. And there's a lot of hard work and love goes into it. And I see that. Your viewers see that. So if you guys have not watched Hunting Around yet, please do. You know, I try to plug these wherever. I plug them on Toy Anxiety all the time.
Yeah, man, I love that. Thank you. I like you talked about it with like on Geek Dad Life, I think.
Yeah, Geek Dad Life.
Man,
Anywhere,
really appreciate that.
anywhere
Thank
I
you.
see 500 people watching, I'll be like, hey, you have to check out these videos.
Oh man, thank you. Man, when does Ernie ever do that?
I don't,
No, I'm kidding. He does.
he hasn't been invited
All
on
the
Geek Dad
time, I
Life.
was gonna say. All the
does.
time.
Just had to take because we know Ernie's definitely not watching the replay or
Oh, he never watches the replays.
2 hours 51 minutes in. Yeah, Plasty, that's actually it's not a real toy store. That's my house.
Yeah.
You were in my house.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, is it Thanksgiving next week?
Not next week.
Next week. Yeah, we will be back at some point. We'll figure it out with the rest of the Boba Squadron. But we're all Canadian if they can't make it because of Thanksgiving reasons. We already had our turkey. You never know.
There you go.
And it was really
Right.
good. Yeah.
We'll talk about turkey another time. Paul, Ryan,
Yes.
thank you so much. I had a lot of fun, but now I need to go drown myself with cough medicine. And the chat, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoy the season's finale. We will definitely be talking about it next week. Follow at Boba Squadron on Instagram for all updates for the times, new episodes. You'll get all your information there. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Good night.
This is for Yoko
Oh.
because you made her mad. Wait, why did you do Wakanda?
I don't know. What was I supposed to do? It's another
an
X.
extra heart?
Another X here. There's an X over my face.
It's like
Yo.
Oh my god. Oh my
Oh.
goodness.